Silent John incremental, another silent instrumental, the nerd rap existential. People compare me to MC Christopher a lot, but the fact is I predict it with significance. I'm the oldest geek rapper by far, save K and R. Compiling kernels, open bracket, cause I rack it. And my teen nerds throw your laser pen in the air and wave it all around like you had no repercussions. Now follow instructions, Professor. Why these discussions consist of nothing but incoherent rambling and babbling, but you just still take notes cause you never know what's happening. I'll drop a little nugget, a tidbit if you will. There were 4 United States presidents named Bill. Really? If you run out of hit points, the game will shout.
Your life force is running out.
If you dig this, then you dug this, cause I'm all about the nerd life, word life. If you dig this, then you dug this, cause I'm all about the nerd life, word life. If you dig this, then you dug this, cause I'm all about the nerd life, word life. If you dig this, then you dug this, cause I'm all about the nerd life, word life, yeah. Let me start again, put it on like a cardigan, swinging like my name was Mad Mardigan, which reminds me, Warwick Davis was Willow and a knee walk, Leonard Nimoy was Galvatron and Spock. That ain't typecast, I don't know what is. Talk about predestiny, nobody gets the best of me. I've only played one role my whole lifetime, the nerd lifeline, stream through a wicked pipeline. So no one can buy mine, cause mine is original and I write rhymes to burn on a CD, play in the mini V. Soccer mom, yodel back, yodel at the little me. I got a sidekick, I gotta stay connected. Watch out for my decom or you'll get infected. And you don't wanna be one of my bots, cause I see it all like Sauron the Cyclops. And I won't hesitate to drop your whole net block if you're acting up and you're dumber than a pet rock. I'm about this nerd life, as you can see, spreading like a virus on MP3. On MP3. STC. Shoutouts to Vic, Agnostic One, up and Silent John. Yeah. Nerd Life, Graphing Calculator, HP48G. The G is for gangster. Digital shit, yeah. You know how we do.
What's up, meatbags? It's the often imitated, never duplicated Tony TGD. Welcome you to the first Gabbing with Geeks of 2023. I am joined by the too hot Scott himself, Finbar Saunders. What's up, Finbar?
Evening, Tony.
So, Days Gaming says he's going to be a little late. He had to work a little extra. He's injured, and his wife is sick. So he's dealing with a lot of things today. I gotta love that dead air. So, how has your week been, Finbar?
Well, I'm dealing with a sick wife too, but it didn't stop me getting here. I just got here as you press play.
I know, I heard it. No idea where Gary is. Gary would have loved it because we got a hot topic that is definitely right up Gary's alley, but he's not here.
Play date?
No, it's not play date. It's a someone got fired from limited run games, and we're going to talk about it and tell you why. Additionally, we're going to tell you why mounting your PS5 vertically might be a bad idea. Microsoft calling the FTC unconstitutional? What the hell is that about? And, of course, games with loot boxes have officially been banned for minors in Germany. Could this be spread out? Are we going to see this more and more? And, of course, we got a small little update from Phil Adam, CEO of Intellivision Entertainment.
Is he though?
Is he? Sort of. But before we get to that, we got to know, Swinbar, how has your week been? What have you been up to? How was the holidays?
The holidays were good. I went home to see the family in Scotland. Great time was had by all. Came back, worked over the New Year, and the wife caught COVID, so it's been the quiet 4 days. It's been weird, man. I haven't had this kind of silence for a sustained amount of days like this since, for 15 years. It's great.
So, did you eat haggis on your Scotland trip?
I don't think anybody in my family likes haggis. I don't hate it. I don't crave it. But there was no haggis going on. Traditional stuff, I think. We had turkey, ham, and beef all at the same time, so it was good.
So what do you guys watch, Highlander or Braveheart for the holidays?
Yeah, and we put on both, and we put on kilts. And to answer John's question, whiskey, all the usual cliche stuff that you think about. We all have fire red hair like Groundskeeper Willie, rip our shirts off, etc. Yeah.
You're telling me all that is a lie? All the stereotypes are incorrect?
No, it's all true, obviously. Just like America's. Every time I think of America, I think of school shootings.
Oh, yeah, that happens on a regular basis. Freight Train wants to know, did you have some blood pudding?
Yeah, I did. Black pudding, yeah. It was lovely. I love black pudding. My daughter really loves it as well. She's only 8 years old, and I think it's been when she was 6. I think she tried it for the first time. She loves it.
What exactly is in blood pudding? And don't just say blood.
But it is. That's what's in it. It's pork blood. What is it? What else is in it? Pork blood.
It's got to be a flavor.
Oh,
It's not pork blood.
It's also the shit, the crap that nobody wants from the inside of the animal. So it's pork blood. I think it's got. Yeah, I think it's got it's got a load of fat in there as well. So it's exactly the kind of stuff Scots eat. Awful and fat. Yeah, it is great, Freight Train. I agree. You're Australian, right? Do you get it over there? He's from Oz, isn't he?
I believe he is.
Yeah, I think they've got it over there as well. Great stuff.
So is it like a pudding, or is it like a sausage or something?
So it's like it comes as a sort of big thick sausage.
Then why the hell is it called pudding? I'm imagining like a little bowl of like a creamy type thing.
I don't know.
Red.
What they'll do is they'll come in a big thick sausage and they'll slice it, and you usually eat it sliced. However, and this is only in Scotland, this happens in the UK. You know what a chippy is, right? A chip shop.
No.
Yeah, you don't know, right? So there's places called chippies where you go and get fries and fish that's in butter. Butter meaning, coated. You know what batter is, right?
No.
You're gonna have to Google fish and chips. If you Google it, you'll see what it looks like. Okay, what they do is they take a blood pudding, an entire blood pudding, and they batter that, deep fry it, and serve it whole to you. And you're expected to eat one of them to yourself. So it's pretty good. That's why we die. So we die at 50. Yeah, in Ireland, yeah, they do it in Ireland as well.
Freight Train says he's in Australia. Yeah, had some blood pudding when he visited Ireland. Ew.
Probably originated in Ireland, without.
Sounds awful.
You say it sounds awful until you try it. It's beautiful.
So you've been playing any good games lately?
What have I played? I was playing because it's come free on PlayStation Plus. I was playing WWE 2K22, which is I keep getting my ass kicked. That's not as easy as it used to be. Have you played that?
That's free on PlayStation?
It's free at the moment, yeah. So it's went on. I think it was on trial for a bit, and I never bothered playing the trial because they only give you 2 hours, and who the fuck wants to play something for 2 hours? So I just left it, and then I noticed just after the new year that it came on PlayStation Network as a free game, and like on the is it on the Essentials tier? It must be. They're all PlayStation 5 games on the Essentials, right?
I think so.
Be. I think it is. So if you've got Essentials, I think you can get it. And I was playing that, and it is. I don't want to swear because I don't want to get demonetized. It is hard, very hard. I just must be a bad games player.
You must. I know they keep changing and messing with the submission systems and stuff. I don't need like a mini game every time I do a submission.
It's the reversal system I don't like. I used to like the reversal system. It was really easy. This one, it feels like cheap. You know what I mean?
No, because I haven't played it.
But it feels like you're being conned a little bit. And then when they start beating the shit out of you, you don't get a chance to reply. It's horrible. It's really annoying, frustrating. But I'm giving it another go because it's quite fun. And I must get better at it. There must be something clicks in you when you just start being good at it again. I encourage everybody to give it a try. It's free.
I did want the game, but I don't see it free. No, it is the PlayStation PS4 version that's free.
Yeah. Can you not download the PS4 version on the PS5?
Yeah, you can, but I'm just saying.
Do that then.
For whatever reason, it is the PS4 version that's free.
Listen, I don't see a difference. Just download the PS4 version.
But now
Don't
that
let
you've
that
told me,
blind you to me saying.
yeah, I will give that a go. I wanted to get it, but I mean, the freaking the NWO version was like $119, and you got all this DLC. It's like
Yeah, you don't need all that shit. You don't. The community creations will take care of all that. They'll put all the characters in that you don't have.
Yeah, but they never look as good, right? Like, Cactus Jack is never going to look as good from WWE.
Oh no, yeah, you're right. They all look like NWO versions of the characters. Yeah, but it's better than nothing.
Yeah, so like I said, I'd rather have the official ones. So that's going to cost me shit. Let me see, 5, 10, 15, 20. So like another $20. And then when they take this off of the thing, I'm gonna have to buy the game, which is $60. But if I want the Rey Mysterio bonus costume, it's gonna cost me another 10. If I want that NWO stuff, that's gonna be another 30. Yeah, I don't think I'm getting the game.
A Rey Mysterio bonus costume is $10.
Oh, because you got to get the upgraded version of
Right.
the game.
Yeah, I would try it first before you commit to that kind of outlay, because, like I say, it could infuriate you, and you might never want to go back to it again.
I mean, as long as the game isn't broken like the previous one, where
It's
characters
not
are
broken. I
falling
never
through
played
the
the
ring.
previous one. I saw videos of the previous one where people were falling through the ring and shit like that. But this isn't broken. This feels it doesn't feel no obvious bugs that I can see.
My week has been very unusual. I went to work and they said, "Hey, that whole having Fridays thing off and that plan that you had to stream early on Fridays every week, yeah, we're going to change that. We're going to go back to working on Fridays now. But we still want you to come in at 5, even though I've never been able to make it in at 5. So I am missing an hour of work every day. I got paid for one day of the holiday, but because it was the first check of the year, they took out the insurance and everything. So I got a grand total of $17.52 on my last paycheck.
Oh, okay. Hope you have some savings there, Tony.
So that was fantastic. I actually get paid $18 an hour, so I got paid less for what would it be amount to like a 2-day, 3-day thing. Turned out to be less than what I get paid an hour. They could have just handed me $20 and called it a day. Avoided all the paperwork. So we had that. Then Sidekick Max and me, we were talking. I think this was about Wednesday. Sitting around the kitchen table, we're talking. And he says, I forget what it was exactly the conversation was. He says, "Well, that's because you're autistic, Dad." And I said, "No, I'm not. I'm not autistic. What are you talking about?" He says, "No. You. I'm pretty sure you are autistic." And I said, "Well, I think I would know, right? I've lived with myself longer than I've lived with you. I think I would kind of know that." He says, "Well, my friend is autistic, and we took it. There's this test you could take, right? It's like online test. You know, one of those famous online.
Yeah. The
tests.
scientifically proven online test
Yeah.
made by some asshole. Yeah.
Yeah. So he says, there's this test, right? Well, you should take this test to see." And I'm like, no. You know, he said, no. He finally, he won't shut up. He just starts asking me the questions, right? And now, scoring a 55 or below means you're probably like, they don't say you're autistic. They're not like, hey, if you score above this, you're no. It's just like, well, you're more likely. The higher you score, the more likely you are to be autistic. That's how the test, the scientific test phrases it.
Right.
And it's like 55 and below is like you're probably not autistic, and then anything over 55, like the higher it goes, is the greater chance. He says, my friend is certifiably autistic. He went to the doctor, psychiatrist, did all the whole thing, the whole shebang. Said he's autistic. He took the test. He scored 140. Okay.
Yeah.
So I took the test and I'm answering the questions that I'm being asked. And a lot of these questions are pretty stupid. It's like, do you not like it when you have a sudden change, right? Like, so if your day, you know, um, changes suddenly, like whether or not like work gets canceled, or a plan that you had, like to go see a movie ends up not happening, or someone doesn't show up, right? And I'm like, yeah, of course I get mad. Like, who doesn't? Like, who wants like just like some out of the box thing that happened in your life, right? So questions like that, how good is your memory? Uh, have you ever kept track of time by counting how many songs played on the radio?
This sounds like the kind of test they got Homer Simpson committed to insane asylum that one time.
And a lot of these questions I'm answering yes, but like there's always reasons. Like okay, the thing with the radio, I'm like, yeah, but I'm like, but we don't have clocks at my work, but we have radios, right? And I know like every song's about 3 minutes and 15 seconds, so you kind of extrapolate. It's not an exact science, but you can go like 10 songs about 30 minutes, right?
Can you just wear a watch?
I can't, because of what I do. We can't wear jewelry.
Right. Does the DJ on the radio not tell you periodically what time it is?
No, actually, they don't.
Right. You need to change stations.
There is certain things they'll be like, okay, like at every 20 minutes. So on the 20s, it might be like we're gonna do like say a crank call on the 20s, right? So when the crank call starts, it's like 8:20, and then you can extrapolate like, okay, 5 songs later, now it's 8:50, right? Thereabouts. And I'm telling you this, and I'm sounding autistic just explaining this. So we take the test, and you wouldn't believe what I scored.
So higher is bad, yeah?
Higher is bad. And remind you, Sidekick Max's autistic friend scored 140 on the test.
You didn't score higher, did you?
I scored 155.
Okay. Well, guess that's
so
guess that's that
apparently
proven.
I'm autistic. But I guess I'm highly functioning. But like I said, there was a lot of weird questions. Like, do you like to be touched? Like, not really. Like, who wants to just be touched by people, right? Like, do you like crowds? I'm like, no. Are there certain noises?
I would answer the same to all of these questions.
It's like, are there certain noises that aggravate you? I'm like, yeah. Like I hate the sound of the vacuum. I hear a vacuum cleaner, fucking drives me nuts. Or hair clippers. Hair clippers or vacuum cleaners drive me nuts. Apparently, these things make you autistic.
I'll have to take that test.
Yeah. So it's a weird feeling, right? Because you kind of go like, yeah, I can kind of see it now. After you like, am I like, I don't think I am, because I think I function pretty well. Like, they're like, do you like meeting new people? Like, fuck no. Who likes to talk to people, right? Like, maybe I'm just like a crotchety old bastard, or maybe I'm just highly autistic and I never realized it. One of the questions was really good. It was, do you have trouble understanding why people think that you're a jerk? It's like,
You said yes.
yeah. It's like, I don't understand why people just don't accept the things I say as truth. Why they always get mad at me. So it was pretty eye opening.
I would probably say yes to most of what you said yesterday, so I guess I'm autistic as well. What if they ask mint salad? See what she thinks.
I really
You must
should.
have the radar for it.
So I don't know. I don't know what to think, because if obviously this is not scientific test, right? This is some online test. But again, certifiably autistic friend 140, Tony 155. I'm 15 points more autistic than someone who actually has autism.
Yeah, well, I mean, you're living a full life. Who cares?
One of the questions was, do you have trouble sympathizing when a celebrity dies? And I'm like, yeah, like I don't care. Like, celebrities die, like they don't affect my life.
I don't care either. There must be I maybe end up scoring higher than you.
So I encourage everybody to, find one of these online tests, take it. Let me know what you score. You score higher than me, score lower. I'm going to find the exact one. Psychic Max is at his mother's house, so I can't ask him for the link to the exact test that I took. And the thing is,
hard. I find it hard to care about people just die that I do know.
that's what I'm saying. Like
Never mind celebrities.
but I know the it wasn't like yes or no questions either. Or it was like yes now, but not when I was younger. Yes, when I was younger, but not now. Always or never.
There's
Right?
more. Okay, so it's more than just two choices.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I guess each choice was worth so many points. So a lot of them were like, well, I don't remember. Like, I don't remember when I was a little kid if I cared if a celebrity died, right? Or if, like, certain sounds. Like, I don't line up my toys by alphabetical order or, like, colors, right? So, yeah, but do you hyper focus on certain parts of your toys? And I'm like, what do you mean? They're like, yeah, do you ever just sit there spinning like a tire on a truck? Like, don't we all do that? Like, don't.
Well, as a child though now,
Yeah,
all kids do that.
that's what I said. And I'm like, I don't know. Freight
I
Train
think
says
this test
Tony's
is
working for the psychiatric industry to collect data on us by asking us to do online tests. No,
well,
no.
the psychiatric industry are holding people to too high a standard. I think they need to lower the bar slightly. I think.
I think we've gone too far in the other direction, right? Like 20, 30 years ago when I was a kid, 30 years ago, 20 years ago, I was a 20-year-old owning the world. But 30 years ago when I was a kid, when I was a child still, it was like nobody was autistic, right? Like I don't even think autism really was a thing that anybody talked about, right? It's like, oh, that kid got ants in his pants, or that kid's disrespectful.
Yeah, and he just got beaten for it as well.
Yeah, that kid has way too much energy. He's just dumb, right? That's how it was handled when I was a kid. And I think we've gone the other direction too far, and just like everybody's autistic, right?
Yeah.
I'm not saying there isn't any general, really autistic people or actual. I'm just saying like it just seems like everybody's autistic now. And I think we've gone too far. And tests like this are one of the ways that I feel where it's like normal activities that people do or normal things that like I don't like people, right? I just don't give a shit about celebrities. Like, oh, that makes you autistic because you don't have empathy. You don't like meeting new people. Autistic people don't like talking to new people. They don't like change. And I'm like, yeah, that no. So that was my week. Uh, I'm gonna see if I can get the Latino autistic discount. Maybe I'll get cheaper.
Well, this is that you can get some kind of benefit from that. So
Yeah, maybe
I'm worried they're going to end up drugging you up. They're going to end up trying to ram drugs down your throat to calm you down or comatose you or lobotomize you.
And I mean, I'm already boring as fuck. So could you imagine if I'm taking medicine to
Well, I mean,
calm
yeah,
me down?
it'll be God, it'll be me and Bob running the show, won't it?
Oh Lord!
And yeah, you don't want that.
And then you guys will change the time because you guys are over there.
Oh, we'll end up just slacking and sleeping in through it, and it'll start at 3 a.m. UK time rather than 1.
Yeah. So yeah, that's my week. That was my little. I don't want to call it a rant on autism. My little discovery, my deep dive into the autistic.
Make sure you recite that story for Mint Salad when she gets here.
I think people have just been given too much opportunity for self-diagnosis. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, they can't wait. Honestly, in all seriousness, they can't wait to drug people up.
Yeah.
Then
they say it's a spectrum, right? And it's like, so even if you're just a little bit on the spectrum, like a little degree, 1 degree over, you're like autistic. Like I don't know, I don't buy it. All right. With that out of the way, we need to get into the actual discussion of what's been going on. So we're going to talk about this PS5. Apparently, you could have a catastrophic failure from liquid metal leakage. I didn't even know this was a thing. This comes to us from TechSpot. It says mounting your PS5 vertically might lead to catastrophic failure from liquid metal leakage. The thermal conductor can ruin the APU and potentially the entire motherboard. You would think this it's been out for what, like 2 years already?
Yeah.
You would think.
And this is a revision that's out at the moment. This is a revised hardware at this point.
So I was going to ask if you think this is a original error, or do you think this is because of the revision that they've made?
I don't know, because obviously I've already explained this. I don't own one. I haven't been able to buy one in the UK. And I'm probably not going to buy one now because I think I'm switching sides. But I think it might well be the revision because they took out, it's lighter now, isn't it? So they've took something out of the inside of it, something that was heavier, and they've revised the hardware to the point where this doesn't mention whether it's the revision's problem or whether it's the first one, does it?
I don't know. I haven't read the article. We don't do that no more. We're not doing that anymore.
Yeah, we don't prep anymore, do we? I
No
don't
more
know.
prep.
This is why, I tell you, this is why, Tony, I don't buy consoles as soon as they come out the gate. This is exactly the reason why. I remember doing it with the PS3 back in the day. I think I got the second version of it, the one that had the PS2 emulator taken out of it. And the thing died on me in about 3 years, and I read up about, oh yeah, this revision had problems. And I was like, why didn't you tell me that 3 years ago? When it was still in warranty. But this is why I don't buy them. I waited until the PlayStation 4 Pro came out before I bought my first PS4. And that's never let me down. So
I buy them day one.
Revisions.
Day one. As soon as I buy, not day one, because sometimes I can't get them. The first
you kind of had to, right?
But I've always bought them.
But
as
for
soon
want
as
of a better
possible.
word, you run a gaming channel almost, right? So you like to stream gaming. So you kind of had to have it. If you couldn't do it, you'd be left behind.
Yeah. Well, I'm saying even before I was on YouTube, even back in the PlayStation 1 era, it was like as soon as possible I got them. 1, 2, 3, 4. Because I don't want to wait. What do I want? I've never had a problem with any of them breaking. I take care of my stuff. I clean them. I make sure they're dusted. They're not sitting on the carpet. They're, on a shelf.
Well, this is the reason why in 56Ks, right? The 360 was also a time bomb because it had Red Ring of Death. And I got rid of my 360. I remember getting rid of it quite soon after buying it. And I think that one probably red ringed when the guy I sold it to had it.
Well, I just bought a PS3 not too long ago. It's doing all right. It hasn't had any problems.
Why did you buy a PS3?
Because there were some games that I was going to play. You can't play the games on PS5 or PS4 because they're not backwards compatible.
We can also use it as a PS1 as well. You play PS1 games on it.
Yeah. What I don't like is that certain PS2 games you can't play on the PS3.
Yeah, quite a few of them, I think.
Yeah. So I had to get a PS2. So I also have that. And I think I'm going to buy a PS1 just to complete the collection. But let's see what's going on with our PS5s. It says PSA, stop what you're doing and go turn your PS5 on its side. I don't have huge shelves, so it was put on its side just because the shelving in the TV stand was, only so big. It's been discovered that the liquid metal used for cooling can potentially leak and fry the motherboard. There have only been a handful of cases reported, so should you take the chance, or is there not enough evidence for this to become a real problem? It says the PS5 is vastly different than any other PlayStation to date. It's white, which we haven't seen since the miniaturized PS1, and of course, it's much more powerful. It's also comparatively colossal in size, but one thing has remained consistent since the PS2. Users can orientate it horizontally or vertically, or so they were told. I've never put any of my consoles vertically.
No, I don't either. Doesn't feel right, does it?
No, especially with the disc, because like you're trying to slide it in, and then and the PS2, I remember like it would have a tendency to lean a little.
Yeah, well, that had a sliding out tray. The fat one did. This tray would slide out, and it just felt weird putting a disc in sideways.
Yeah, so I was like, no, put this. Sony's standard comes in the package, and their marketing materials display the PS5 in both orientations, so it's more than safe to assume either mounting position is acceptable. The console is so large that the most practical position, for me at least, is vertical. I know I'm not alone, too. A quick Google image search shows that most images posted to the internet have the behemoth in its towered position. So it may shock many users that this may be the risky way to orientate your PS5. It's got this video from, I don't know who the hell this is.
This guy always repairs them. Coder. He always repairs broken ones. He's a British guy, I think.
Yeah, it looks like he got 68,000 subscribers, so he might be legit. It says a console repair tech who goes by the YouTube handle The Coder posted a video above last September. Why does it take you so long to write this news out if this happened last September? Showing a PlayStation 5 he received for repair. The console would not power on, so he opened it up, removed the motherboard, and checked each component to see how the voltage was flowing. He was getting bad readings, but physically everything looked fine. He decided to pull up the shroud around the APU, accelerated processing unit, to check for damage, and that's where he found liquid metal had leaked from its enclosure and shorted the contacts on the bottom, relative to the vertical orientation of the APU. At that time, it seemed like an isolated incident. The coder had not seen a case like this before, and neither had anyone else. However, since then, at least one other instance of a leaking APU has been reported. So, we have two whole. This article is written on two whole cases.
All right, okay. So it's a pandemic then.
This is a catastrophic hardware failure. What were they thinking? The coder calls it a major faux pas by Sony's design team. It would seem that when mounted vertically, the indium gallium alloy between the APU and the heatsink, which remains liquid at room temperature, can dribble out over time due to gravity pulling it all to one side of the housing. Horizontally mounting the console alleviates this issue since the liquid metal is allowed to rest uniformly across the APU.
So if it remains liquid, then having it on its side wouldn't be good, would it? If it's all flowing, because you would want it spread out across the APU, wouldn't you? I'm thinking of it as if it's lying flat. The APU is flat.
Yeah, but I guess the way it's sitting, it is sitting vertically when it's vertical and horizontally when it's horizontal up against the APU.
Okay.
It says it's fair to point out that this is not the first time vertical orientations has caused problems for the PlayStation users. Somewhere around the mid-life cycle, the PlayStation 2 began exhibiting disk read errors. The problem was related to users having their PS2 set upright again, something Sony said it was designed to do. It says, unfortunately, the vertical orientation caused the CD laser head to shift out of alignment. However, the DUI fix was as simple as opening the housing and readjusting the CD head, which just about anybody not afraid to open their console could do. I don't think I've ever opened any of my consoles.
I did. The fat PS3, I opened it up and it never went back together again because it was so complicated. But that was after it died on me.
Well, like I said, I've never had any die, so I never had a reason to open them. I want to say maybe the NES was opened. And, everyone was like, you open it up and you just clean it with the alcohol swabs.
Yeah. It was easy enough, wasn't it?
Yeah. I don't think you're supposed to have done that, though, from what I read.
No, I remember seeing that they never recommended you do that, but I think that was probably because it was third parties were selling the stuff and they couldn't guarantee it would work.
I think it was so you could send it in to them and they could charge you an arm and a leg.
Yeah, no doubt.
56K warning says, taking care of them don't matter if it's a design flaw.
Yeah, but Tommy was right. It's probably these people who's broken have probably been doing something stupid that they shouldn't have been doing.
Especially I bet both of those people had their PS5 sitting on top of the heater vent or something.
Yeah, they'd been doing something stupid with them that they shouldn't have been doing and caused the thing to leak.
56K warning says it's conductive and it eats away at material. Yeah, you shouldn't keep your PS5 upright, just to be on the safe side. Yeah, bend back those 72 pins on the NES. I remember that. The NES's design was so stupid because they're like, hey, we can load it top loaded, but it'll look like a video game system if you do it like that, right?
Was that the idea behind why they did it like that? With
No,
the
no.
loaded it?
Here's what the idea was. So originally, it was top loading, right? And you would just pop it in like the SNES, but that would look
Yeah.
like a video game system, right?
The Famicom was like that, wasn't it? It was the
Yeah.
top load. Right.
So they said that's a video game system, but they wanted to sell it as an entertainment system.
Yeah,
In VCRs, you push it in,
that's right. Yeah,
you put it down, right? So it goes in and then down. So he said, we'll redesign it so it goes in and then you push it down like a VCR. See, look, it's an entertainment machine, not a toy.
yeah. That only plays games.
And what ends up happening is you put it in and then it ends up bending the pins that are supposed to connect in order to read the game. So it says, as for the PS5 problem, fixing the APU is not a DUI project for the weekend unless you are a trained professional and can access the parts. Sony has not officially acknowledged the flaw yet. The company heavily marketed the PS5 in its vertical position, even as shown on the packaging. This also includes a stand, since the PS5 does not have a flat side and it uses a separate stand to facilitate horizontal or upright mounting. One could reasonably expect Sony to offer free repairs to out-of-warranty users over such fiasco, but don't hold your breath. Since the failure can ruin the motherboard, it's likely to be a full replacement situation. If it were a car, this would require a full recall. I don't think so. I think like 2 cars blowing up is not going to
Yeah,
warrant
it's
a
not.
full recall.
Yeah, it's not worth their time recalling them all. They would just surely just repair these two for them if they're under warranty.
Yeah, and if they're not, they would just be like, oh well. And I don't know if you know this, but automotive recalls, like is mentioned in Fight Club, they kind of analyze and go, would we make more money recalling it or not recalling it? What's up, Hammock Man?
Evening, Hammock.
Howdy. What's up, fellas?
We're just talking about how if you put your PS5 vertically, you could end up having leaking liquid metal damage the motherboard.
Ooh, really? That's how my son has his standing up.
Yeah, they said there's only been 2 cases so far. So
Not something you have to worry about, Hammock man. You're an Xbox man, aren't you?
I am, but I did purchase my son the PS5, so I now have to worry about that too.
yeah, 56K warning says big YouTube PC channel is going to test this theory out. I bet it would be hard. You would have to just put it vertically and then just kind of wait. Like it was like I bought a PS5 and left it sitting vertically for a year.
How do you have yours, Tony?
Horizontal. Just
Yeah.
because I don't have the shelf space for a vertical.
Right. It looks cool in that vertical position, though.
It does, but it looks weird horizontal because like the way that the flap is, like one side smaller. It's almost designed to be vertical, like if you can see.
Yeah.
And when you have it sideways, it looks weird and janky.
Does it? I haven't seen it sideways yet.
Yeah, because like I said, one side looks, because of the black and white. So the left side looks tiny, and then the right side looks huge because of the way those little flaps are, the little wings. It's like a fucking tampon. See?
Yeah, it does.
And then if you don't have the disk drive, right?
They've got to review that, haven't they? They've got to review that
Does it
design
have-
and change it. It's a stupid design.
Does it have those Does it have those inspirational words that are on tampons? Some of the
No.
tampons, like
Then
"Be all you can be."
you see this part right here with the disk drive.
Yeah.
If you don't have the disk drive,
Yeah.
it goes down like here. So like It's just totally missing that piece. It's not like an empty piece of plastic. It's just gone. So it looks even thinner on this end.
Huh. Strange. Why would they do that?
Who knows?
I'm more interested in these inspirational words that you've got on tampons in the US. What's that all about? Ours just have things like
Some tampons have
inspire
these
nose
like
and stuff.
inspirational. They have like inspirational phrases for women.
Oh dear.
What are those? What is that stupid shit? Like, you know, like you go to Walmart and you see like the really generic stuff that's like on a picture or something. Like, I can't even think of any of them right now, but like they're so generic.
In there, you got this.
No, it's worse than that. It's like
Go, girl.
live, laugh, love.
You go,
That kind
girl.
of shit. Like,
Uh,
yeah, there you go. I saw this TikTok where this guy was like reading inspirational quotes from the tampons to his wife, like, but not letting her know that he was doing that, like during conversations, just throwing them in. She finally realized what he was doing and got pissed and slammed the door and left.
Beefy says positive affirmations. Yeah. So
Exactly.
there it is, folks. If you got a PS5, I would recommend mounting it horizontally. It's probably not going to get damaged vertically, but just don't take the chance. Flow like a butterfly, sting when you pee. Go see a doctor.
That sounds like a urinary tract infection.
It is. I listen to the radio a lot at work, and there's a commercial that always comes on for this product called Eucora. And the lady's like, I used to always get urinary tract infections, and I tried all the products and they never worked. I'm like, don't you get urinary tract infections from like dirty sex? Isn't that like the main way? Like, is she just like basically like, I've been a whore my whole life?
Yeah,
and
I
now
think
I
that's
need-
the main way, but I think there's other ways too you can get it, but I think that is pretty much the main way.
Yeah, like he doesn't wash his dick, and I've been fucking him. I need a product to help me. He's like, shower?
Yeah.
What would I know? I'm a guy.
Don't clip this bit.
Yeah, don't click. So now that you're joined us, Hammock Man, how's your week been? I heard you had a little accident. You stubbed your toe or something.
Well, I wish it was just a stub toe, but it's a fractured ankle. Got a pulled ligament. I don't know. I got to wear this stupid boot for 6 weeks, and I'm hoping that everything's gonna be fine. Don't have to have surgery. I've always been pretty athletic my whole life, so I've played a lot of sports and stuff. So I've had ankle problems. I remember hurting it playing basketball when I was younger, and it's like my left ankle especially. So they've seen like some tissue and stuff that are previous damage. I don't know if it's scar tissue, but just some shit from previous damage. So hopefully this will be taken care of with just a boot, and I don't have to have surgery, because I hear that's a pretty rough surgery to have down there. But
well, how did
we'll
you
see.
get this?
Fingers crossed.
How did you get this injury? What did you do? Step out of bed too hard, or?
Well, it sort of. I fell in the night. I did. I got up. I was kind of like half asleep and not fully awake, but I was like got up and I was hungry. I went to the kitchen to get me something to eat, and as I was coming back to the bed, I fell and freaking fucked up my ankle.
This is
dropped this sandwich all over the floor. This is why you're supposed to have your wife make you a sandwich.
I'm not going to get her up in the night and be, make me a sandwich, bitch.
No, don't throw the bitch in there, but be like, woman, I'm hungry. Make me a sandwich.
This is a guy who on a routine basis manages to make it into a hammock without hurting himself, but he can't even make it into his own bed.
Yeah. Yeah.
Jussie says that's like old people problem.
It is. And I came home and I made dinner tonight because my wife is a little bit under the weather. So I came home and
I've been doing that.
Made some sloppy joes. I'm not a great cook. I can grill pretty well. I've become a pretty good grill master, but as far as like kitchen stuff, I suck. I can make sloppy joes, tacos, chili, spaghetti, shit like that. But
Well, I will tell you this: as a former husband, never cook well. If you cook
yeah,
well,
then you'll be
then you're gonna have to. And you
yeah.
always do everything just good enough, right? So it's acceptable. Like, look, we didn't starve. So then your wife will be like, well, you're not a good cook, honey. You did a good job. Thank you. You get the little pat on the head. And then she goes back to cooking 24/7.
Yeah.
You could
That's
have
like
just said
everything you
as
do.
a husband. You could have just said as a former husband, never marry.
That,
That would have been easier.
I've had lots of issues. One of the issues I used to have in my marriage was um, the way I sleep. Now I have to sleep facing the outside of the bed. And again, this might go back to the autistic problem that we talked about at the top of the hour. But I don't think so. Right. So when I sleep in a bed, I have to be facing the outside. So I can't be the big spoon, right? Women always want you to be the big spoon. Well, if I'm the big spoon, my back is to the outside. And the reason this is a problem is because I will roll over in the middle of the night and fall off the fucking bed. And I'm not worried about it because it actually has happened. It's not like it's an unfounded thing where I'm just like crazy. But no, I've actually rolled off the bed in the middle of the night several
What
times.
what size bed are y'all sleeping in?
King size.
Yeah, that's what we have.
But you know how it is with a normal person, a man can sleep in the middle of a bed, no problem. You got lots of room on either side. When you have a wife, she will sleep in the middle of the bed. She's not going to sleep on her side. No, she's going to scooch over and give you like you get an inch worth of bed, and she gets like 32 inches.
Nah, my wife doesn't do that. She's pretty good. Our bed, she's pretty small, so she stays on her little side. So
Are you
I'm
trying to say
good.
my
I
ex-wife
got
is
a good.
huge?
No, I don't know. It's a big bitch.
No, she was actually pretty small. It was like I said, she would just not sleep at the edge or even near the edge. She'd like scooch over all the way. And very
Yeah,
clingy. Give me
I
some
get
room.
that. I get that as well. And then I get my fucking kid jumping in the middle of me, kneeing me in the bollocks on the way past, pushing me all the way up to the edge.
She wants all 32 inches. Well, part of the problem was okay. So when Sidekick Max was small, right, he would never want to sleep in his crib. So you know how you got to put him in the bed with you, and then we had to put
Yeah.
that little they have like a little thing you put your kid inside. And it's like two ramps, so he can't roll over. It's basically like you stuff your kid inside this, so he could sleep on the bed without rolling off of it.
It's like a hot dog.
Yeah, like a hot dog, right? It's almost like a taco holder. You throw the kid in there. So again, I was always afraid I was going to roll over on him because I always roll whatever side my back is on. I always end up rolling that way, right? So then I had to start facing him so I wouldn't roll on top of him. So then that's when I started rolling off the bed.
Damn, dude, that's
Kids, man.
crazy. That's got to be a frightening experience to wake up rolling off the bed.
Well, you don't wake up till you hit the ground.
Well, that's true.
It's not like my bed's 40 feet up where I'm like, I roll like, oh, and I start falling. No, it's like,
Uh,
you hit the ground before you realize you started falling.
that's true.
So, kids, pain in the ass. When he did start sleeping in his crib, he was so used to us that I actually had to lay underneath his crib and put my arm inside of it so he could hold on to my hand so he would fall asleep.
Oh,
And then 9 times out of 10, I would fall asleep. So I'd fall asleep with my arm in his crib through the bar in this like weird, awkward position underneath on the floor.
how could you fall asleep like that? I could never.
TGG sleeps with whales confirmed. Everyone's a whale compared to you, Potion. You're like 20 pounds soaking wet. Dude, I could fall asleep in any position, anywhere. I just knock out.
That's not me. I lay there, toss and turn,
Remember,
thinking
I only
about
sleep like 3
everything.
hours a week, so I've had to
Oh,
learn to just like, boom, out.
Yeah, that's because
yeah.
of all the monster.
I only got like 3 cans right now in my room.
Only.
Potion says he's feeling good. He's recovering from surgery. Slow walking, but it's all good. We're glad to hear that. Hopefully
That's
the new
great to
kidney
hear.
lasts you. You know, hopefully you'll come back to YouTube.
Have you had a transplant Potion? Have you got a new kidney? I haven't been able to see what's been going on. Is that what's happening?
Yeah, he's home now.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah, that's great to hear.
56K1 he says Tony gonna regret that when he's older. You need them sleep hours. You can't go fixing things when you're 50. Better start now. Dude, I'm already gonna be 42 this year. I've already sailed that ship. That ship is long gone. But
Yeah,
anything
what we'll
else
do.
exciting happened in your life this week, Dazed? Playing any games?
No. Well, last night I was playing the Cowabunga collection, which that was fun. Honestly, I've been busy this week. I have not been able to game much, and with my ankle, I've just kind of come home and been sort of just tired and just went kind of laid in bed. Like right now, I'm laying on the couch. This
Surely
weekend,
with
I'm
busted
going to.
ankle, that's the best position to be in to be gaming, isn't it?
Well, I'd have to. If I won, I'd have two options. I could either go upstairs and play in my room, and I haven't really felt like walking up the stairs, or two, I have the living room, but the TV is a good distance away from the couch. We got a pretty big living room, so I have to take a chair and move it in front of the TV to be able to play. And it's just not really a comfortable thing. But I'm gonna play tomorrow. I think I might play with some Call of Duty with good old Retro Bro. He wanted to play, so I don't know. Maybe Bob will play too. We'll see.
Apparently, you can now play online Turtles in Time for the SNES through the Cowabunga collection.
Nice. That might have to be something to do. Finbar, do you have an Xbox?
Not yet, Dazed.
Okay.
And they said
Hopefully,
pretty soon.
hopefully very soon, yeah. Well, I was looking at thinking about this over the Christmas and New Year period there, because I couldn't find a PS5 anywhere. I was thinking about jumping sides and going to Xbox, but now I've noticed that you can buy a PS5 directly from Sony at retail. So now I'm
Dude, every
I'm
like
torn.
2 months, Sony gives me an email. Do you want to buy a PS5 directly from Sony? Watch your email because we're going to give you a link. So I don't know why you can't get one. If you're a Sony customer, if they like you in high standing, you should be getting that email.
I've never had an email from them.
Standing.
I saw it when I logged on. I saw it came up with a QR code that you can scan to buy one, but I've not been able to buy one retail in the UK anywhere, or even on Amazon.
They
That's why I
literally
thought-
send me one. I get an email in my email, and then I get the email that's associated with Psychic Max's account. So it's like every couple of months, I get 2 emails from Sony.
I'm thinking about maybe just going ahead and getting the Xbox anyway. I think Game Pass looks too good to pass up.
Dude, go ahead. You can play. I got one. Ninja Kitty has one.
Well, that's what I mean. I
Bob
saw you
has
guys all
one.
having fun playing Halo, and I felt really
Yeah.
bad. I couldn't play.
Yeah, dude.
If you guys get one, then I'm gonna eventually have to get one.
You need to. I told you. You need to take some of that earnings from the big money we're making on this channel.
All these
and
millions.
Get you a channel Xbox.
I could write it off, so
You could.
no, that could be a thing. Here, just so you guys know that I'm not lying, as you can see, I get this from PlayStation. This is the last one I got. Boom, boom, boom. We are pleased to inform you we have PlayStation 5 consoles, blah, 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 blah. Access the site.
We believe you.
So apparently, Potion says he's starting dialysis.
Oh, okay.
He's hope to be put on the transplant list soon. You need to go out into the alleys of Los Angeles. There's a lot of homeless people there that have kidneys. Just find one that's about your size and walk them into the middle of the street.
Take it out with a spoon.
Oh, he hasn't gotten the kidney. Oh, he hasn't yet. Okay, I was confused.
It says, "But I'm home, starting a new normal, so I can't complain too much. Gaming a lot lately. That's good. Yeah, buy
That
them
is
both.
good.
Yeah, I'm gonna eventually, probably, I want to say March, probably for my birthday. I'll bite the bullet and get a Xbox.
I think Potion's got an Xbox too. I'm pretty sure I'm pretty sure we've played Halo too.
Yeah, he's got Xbox and Game Pass. Says he loves it. Loves it.
Right, I'm coming soon, guys. I don't mean coming. I mean I'm on my way. Is what I meant.
You're coming, thinking
I'll be
about an
there
Xbox.
shortly.
Yeah, he's like, Xbox.
Yeah, I'm changing sides. Fuck
Do it. Do it.
Man, speaking of writing stuff off on taxes this year, you guys got to remind me. I got to make sure that I list everything that I buy, every game, so I can get that big tax write off this year.
We got to remind you
Yeah,
to do your taxes.
you got to remind me because I'll forget. You know, I forget everything.
Yeah.
You got to help me out because I'm autistic. Remember? Days you weren't here for it, but Sidekick Max made me take an online autism test, and I scored 155.
Out of how much?
Like 200. But they said anything over 55 means you're probably autistic. His friend, who is autistic, only scored 140.
Yeah, well, yeah. We're probably all a little bit on the spectrum. So
Yeah. Well, it's funny because one of the questions was, do you correct people a lot when they make mistakes?
yes.
Yeah. I was like, yeah. But I don't think that makes me autistic.
Makes you a grammar Nazi.
Yeah.
Yeah, those stupid ass online things. I mean, it's like certain people just have a personality. It doesn't mean you're automatically autistic.
Yeah. I think Sidekick Max just gets a kick out of calling me autistic now.
What was I'll take it too for shits and giggles and see what I score.
I got to
Remember
get,
what-
when he comes back home, I'll get him to give me the link.
Yeah,
Well,
send
he
me
was
the
calling
link.
you that before, wasn't he? Before you even took that test. Now he's got
Proof.
legitimate proof.
Now
yeah.
you're totally you're done.
Now you're never going to live it down.
Yeah. One Inch Bicep said Mad Max ignored me when I showed him the only way to play Twisted Metal for PS3 online. Mad Max. I saw Mad Max's face the other day. Man, was not what I expected.
Well, what did you expect? Like a burnt, scarred face?
No, I expected like a typical white dude. Like he looked Mexican. I was like, I wasn't paying attention. I was messing with my phone. It was behind the scenes after the show. I'm messing with my phone, and I look up and there's a Mexican dude on Mad Max's camera. I'm like, what the fuck? Like what? And then it started talking in Max's voice. I'm like, fuck.
I'm sure I've seen him maskless before in something.
He's a
I
lot
saw
darker
there was
for a guy that
something.
wears a mask so much. Skin's a lot darker.
I saw him a picture of something and he was at an event.
Yeah, and he had no mask on then. Yeah, I saw that as well. He wears glasses. I mean, I know he wears glasses over his mask, but he looks like I imagined he would look with no mask on.
Yeah.
Don't remember him looking Mexican though.
No, he had like a goatee and a beard. It's just weird.
Yeah,
All right.
1 Inch is right. It was at the Crayola thing. I'm sure there was a photo floating around with him with no mask on. He was with John. I'm sure he was with John at the time. At the time the photo was taken. That's the picture you're talking about, isn't it, 1 Inch?
Could be. All right, let's see. Going on with these loot boxes. It says games with loot boxes officially banned from minors in Germany. This comes from Hawk Hat Games. I've never heard of this website. Apparently, German Parliament has passed a new youth protection law, which could ban the sales of games with loot boxes. Well, why would you say this? Right? Could ban the sales and have this officially banned. Which is it? Hawk Hat Games?
There's an update. No?
No, that is the update.
Maybe they just updated the heading and done the text yet.
All right. Loot boxes, which are often purchased with currency and then opened to receive a random in-game item, first appeared first started appearing in the video games in the early 2000s as a way to monetize games. Loot boxes have often been compared to gambling and are frowned upon because they give an advantage to players who spend real world money in competitive games. As a result, a wave of countries have begun implementing regulation to curtail the use of loot boxes in games. Yeah, because they wanted to regulate the real world advantages in competitive games and not the gambling thing. Recently, Epic Games also encountered loot box issues as they were forced to refund loot boxes after being faced with a lawsuit. The lawsuit came from an underage player who claimed that loot box sales are deceptive because Epic Games does not disclose item drop rates. Late last year, EA was sued by a group of individuals who claim that the company manipulates players to incentivize the purchases of loot boxes. The lawsuit claims that the EA Sports use its patented dynamic difficulty adjustment technology, which helps challenge players in games such as Madden and FIFA to inflate difficulty. According to the plaintiffs, this increased difficulty was intended to push players towards buying loot boxes to acquire better players. According to Redditor XP3Rix, who translated an article from German, the German parliament could ban the sale of loot boxes to minors if approved by the Federal Council. The ban is part of the Youth Protection Act, which seeks to defend minors from being incentivized to make purchases or perform gambling-like acts in games. While loot boxes are not being banned outright, games that contain loot boxes will now be classified with a higher age rating in Germany. The law still waits final approval, but it is expected to come into effect this spring. I think that's stupid. Either ban games with loot boxes or don't.
Well, don't, yeah.
Because kids will 100% still play these games. Putting a little sticker on them, go, don't sell this to minors, when minors are not the ones buying the games. Adults buy the games and give them to their minors because adults are stupid and the kids know what they're doing.
And also, adults are the ones mostly with the gambling problems. They're the ones that need to be protected more than the kids do.
You know what that reminds me of? Back in the 90s when they started slapping like adult warning labels on like CDs and shit. Those would be the ones like, yeah, I want that one.
Yeah.
If I remember correctly, I think Two Live Crew said that their sales increased.
Yeah.
After they put that sticker on.
It did.
Potion says, I pictured Max looking like that dude with the red stapler in Office Space.
Is that the guy?
Milton.
That guy. Is it Milton? Is that
Milton.
his name?
Yeah, Milton.
I could burn down the whole office.
Here to go to fire people.
Great movie. I saw that in the theater. I was not expecting anything.
56K Warning says they're always showing off Overwatch loot box art. Overwatch 1 loot box system was the best system, and it died because of Season Pass. Yeah, Overwatch 1, really, the loot box was all just cosmetic. So, I mean, I never felt the need to buy it. And then they would give you free loot boxes every once in a while. So, it was like, oh, okay, little bonus.
Yeah, I can't imagine wasting money on shit like that. That's definitely a younger generation thing, I think.
Tommy O says, would Cosmo Kramer from Seinfeld be considered autistic? I think that's
Kramer
what
was
autistic. I don't think. I think he was just odd. He was an odd duck.
Nah, he's on the spectrum, Kramer.
You think so?
Probably.
Yeah. Sweet and Tender Hooligan says, Mad Max, you got to get Mad Max on to discuss how he's back to being Amico.
Fuck off a minute. Hold on. Mad Max is not Amico again, is he?
Not that I know of. Not that I'm aware.
You're trolling, Sweet. Come on.
I don't really. What possibly could have happened that would have got him back on board? Tommy getting sued?
Yeah, I don't think he's pro Amico. The last time we talked, he didn't say anything about being pro Amico.
Yo, because he doesn't want to hear shit from you, probably.
I've watched your video, Sweet, your latest one. Let me just double check you haven't put anything up since then.
Mad Max is here in the chat. Mad Max, are you pro Amico?
Bring him on, man.
Because
Yeah,
Sweet and
Max.
Tender's, I think Sweet and Tender's just trying to get us to watch his video.
I've
on
seen
stream.
it. I've seen it, Sweet. I've watched it. I think I've even left you a like. I'm sure I have. No, I haven't. I have now.
Yeah, I don't think Mad
I didn't
Max.
get any of that from that video. Max is here. He can answer for himself.
I think Sweet's just lying. He's just trying to get us to watch his video on stream.
Mad Max. Yeah, that's Tony. Tony's Mad Max.
He's trying to get that clout. Send me a link real quick. I just put it in the chat. There you go, Max.
Yeah, give your side of the story, Max.
So that was the loot box thing.
Ban them all.
Ban them all.
Worldwide.
There's no reason for them. I think loot boxes are the same as playing cards. Not playing cards, but like magic cards or whatever.
Yeah. Loot boxes are the devil.
What's up, Mad Max?
Sweet and tender, Hooligan. You're living up to your name, Hooligan. You're just trying to get me to talk about it again. No, I am not pro Amico. It's a disaster. This is pathetic. Right at this point.
By the way, One Inch Bicep says he tried to show you how to play Twisted Metal on the PS3 online, and you ignored him.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't ignore. I wasn't really thinking about playing it online. I just wanted to play the game in general. I mean, I want to try it first, and then if then I'm like, if I see the modes, there is supposed to be a really cool multiplayer mode. Then I'll look into playing online. Thanks, 1 Inch Biceps.
Tommy O. Sorry, Max. Tommy O says let Sweet come on here so Max can fucking scold him publicly.
Nah, I don't have time for that. I came to support the stream, but I'm going to be streaming like 10 minutes.
Don't do that.
I'm surprised you're awake this early, Max. No one had to call you.
I have a 3-day weekend. I've been going through my stuff. Me and Cyrus did a stream where I went through my Wii and Wii U collection because I hooked it up to
so you played with your Wii with Cyrus?
Yeah, we talked. Yeah, we played with our Wiis.
Your Wii.
He asked why mine's white. I said, "Yes, my Wii is white." I don't know what. He's like, "Why don't you have a black one?" I'm like, "Because I saved my Wiis from my Wii, not my Wii U. My Wii U is black." But it is Sweet and Tender Hogan's. He is the reason I ended up in that H Bomberman vid because he kept bugging me about doing stuff, and that's that clip where I'm like, everyone told me I should have canceled my pre-order. My wife told me I should cancel my pre-order, and I still didn't. And that's the clip that ended up there. That was all because he was wanting me to talk about the Amico.
Yeah, we also had a clip of you when you were interviewed. You had Tommy on a panel with a bunch of other people there.
Oh, there's clips that people don't even. I'm surprised people would even dig out. I'm like, when I really was believing Tommy, I was like, Tommy doesn't need to do this. He doesn't need money. This is just for the love of it. Why would he ruin his career right at the end for just something to scam people his money? He's like, yeah, I wouldn't do that. There's a clip of that. Me asking him that direct question. I don't know what stream, what interview, but Sweet Tender Hooligan, because you put me through the shit trying to get me to talk about Amico again, you go find it, bro. It exists. I said, why would he do all this just to ruin his name at the end of his career? And that's sad to say because it's real weird for me. I still like him in a weird way. I don't like what he did, but yes, that exists. Like me, Ashley, like I'm totally believing that everything was going to work out. And I was like, why would you ruin your career at the end and not follow through? You have all these people in the industry. Yeah, we don't need to do this. This is for the love.
Well, Max, now that you're here, I want your opinion on this picture that was sent to me.
Okay.
It is a picture of the Amico No Access crew.
I'm gonna get my phone so I can take a peek at this.
Wow, Hammock Man looks exactly legit.
Hell yeah! I haven't seen this. Where did this come from?
Our good friend Finbar Saunders.
Nice.
Finbar, you did this? Nice.
Listen,
dude.
right? You'll know that I'm not being big-headed here because I've given myself X-Pac. Nobody likes him.
Who am I? Who is that guy?
That's Hollywood Hulk Hogan.
Hogan, man.
Is that Hogan?
Yeah,
I
Ninja
can't
Kid.
even.
It's you,
I can't
asshole.
even.
Did you actually use his face?
This
Yeah,
is
that-
all of our faces. So everybody in the chat now, you've got.
Oh, you
face
got our
reveal-
faces. Oh,
That's the real faces?
Yeah, you've got face reveals for everybody now in the crew.
That's not my real face.
That is Tony's real face. Don't
He,
let
he,
him.
he
Wow.
used he used Luis Guzman. He thought he was being slick and funny. He's like, I'll use Luis Guzman's face on Ted DiBiase.
Let's not. I'm not being slick. You're the one that used Louise Guzman's face before I did. A long time
Also,
ago.
I don't know if that's what Blinded Braille looks like. If he does look like
He's probably going to be the most offended out of everybody. If I'm
Blinded Braille.
I actually was gonna contact PayPal too. That's really awesome, Finbar. I was gonna
Thanks, man.
contact PayPal and dispute my pre-order charges, but then like at the back of my mind, I'm always like, I got a plan. If it actually they get the founders, which is not gonna happen, but if somehow it did, then I'm gonna go to Retro Bros house and we're gonna do some vids on it. But that's the only reason. But I should just ask for
If the Amico comes out, I'll go to Retro Bros house too.
Yeah, I
and
want to have
play.
a party. Like I'm gonna go on tour.
I will
with
come.
it.
I will come party.
I'm gonna
with
go
y'all
on
if
tour
the
with it.
Amico
But
comes out.
I just know it's not gonna happen. But it's like,
No,
man, if they actually did it, like the founders, and then I got that, I would like go on tour and have everyone play it and make video. But I'm like, yeah, it's not gonna. I should just dispute the charge already. I've just been delaying. I'm not gonna even contact the television. I'm just gonna dispute the charge.
How many have you got in, Max? Two orders.
Bullshit, sweet and tender. What is he trying to do? He's trying to get me in. I'm going to drop an F-bomb here on you, man. I never told people to invest.
I'm pretty sure you did. You're like, you should invest because it's a great investment. You'll make 10x return.
I never said that shit.
Let's be
I
honest.
don't
Rick,
ever.
you probably
I
did.
can't.
You
I
probably
can't
did at some
imagine.
point.
Matt. I can't imagine
All
you
right.
ever did that, Max.
If I
can't-
did, I'm going to. No, I did not. Did I? I said maybe I wanted to invest or something because I did. I like after the Crayola thing, I was like, if I had some money, ooh,
Demonetized.
I said maybe I would have invested because
Who's
I was
demonetized?
and I thank God that that I don't have money because I would be a moron and I would have invested some after the Crayola thing. When
He
showed me-
says he got you on camera.
Ooh.
It says,
Send a
at
link.
Mad Max, in my video, you and
Receipt.
Saggy are encouraging people to invest. Roll the film. He wants me to roll the footage.
I
You
gotta
can
I
be
don't
here.
remember him saying it in that
I-
video.
I-
Sweet.
Poor Max. Poor Max comes
I'm
in and
supposed to be in
immediately
another
gets
stream.
shredded.
No, I'm okay with this. All right, you got to play it quick because I'm supposed to. Brian's waiting on the other stream.
Let's
All
hear it.
You're
Let's
supposed
see
to
it.
be add to the max, right?
Yeah,
Roll the tape, boss.
I'm getting it. It wasn't like I didn't have it up.
I know.
I
know.
believe during the fog of war, Max, you probably did say invest in it at some point. People seem to forget that they've said stuff like that. If you look at Goosey's videos,
Oh,
you'll see-
Tommy, you Amico. Thanks a lot, assholes.
Ooh.
I'm just kidding. I don't care.
It was
If-
definitely fog of
if
war.
I
That was
did,
a
if I
great way to
actually
put
said
it.
that was a big mistake. Go ahead.
I'm going to play the video. It's 4 minutes.
Okay.
It says Mad Max and Saggy are pro Amico again, and Intellivision Amico, Tommy Tellerico.
Uh-oh.
Hey, Eddie, we're talking about the Nico. Are you sure you want to be here? Oh, you got your ready. You got your shirt.
Oh, it's a joke. Sarcastic.
Hey, I'm just here mostly for emotional support, I guess. Well, listen, and I was listening to part of Saggy's stream. She says, I'm not going to tell everyone to buy the Miko. I'm telling everyone, buy the Miko. It's for everyone. It's for everyone.
Oh shit!
What's up, everyone?
Oh god!
21
Well, buy
seconds in. Buy the Amico.
That's not.
Is that considered investing because you're like pre-ordering? Would that be an investment, or would that just be he's just saying buy it?
God.
Let's check the transcript. and
We
if
need
he
to
says
see
the
if
word
there's an
invest.
investment. Oh, Max.
Oh yes, yes there is.
Oh no.
I was
I'm
happy
gonna
about
be
it.
an investor.
Oh,
That's
God.
Yeah.
how much I believe in this.
No. After what he showed me, if I had money, I would invest. Yes.
That's-
I would
that's
actually
what I-
recommend anyone that's
I would
interested
invest. I wouldn't
Yes.
tell you.
Wait, he just Max.
Wait,
you
wait,
talked over
wait,
yourself.
Rewind.
Yeah,
Oh, God
Max.
damn it! This is gonna get me in
Yes,
trouble.
I would actually recommend anyone that's interested that wants, like, not your whole life savings or nothing like that, but if you have extra income, firewater, you're successful dude, I would say reach out to.
Fog of War, Max.
Fucking
Fog
hell.
of War.
Fog of War. Fog of
This was a
War.
mistake. I'm getting out of here. Sorry, sweet tender. Oh
Wave
my
the-
god.
Hooligan
So
was
ju-
right.
Embarrassing.
Did you rescind your previous statements? Do you disavow?
I was so wrong.
We sit here accusing
I
Sweet
don't
Tender of
remember
trolling.
that. I don't even remember that. Basically, because I was like, that was after Crayola when he showed me. And you're gonna really think I'm a moron when he showed me the physical edition before they revealed it in the public. I'm like, that's really cool.
I think
If it works.
I think the words you're looking for, Max, is "I'm sorry, sweet."
I'm sorry, sweet. Don't cancel me, please. Oh man, if
How convincing? What I mean, Tommy just must have been like so
I
convincing.
really liked him. Meeting him in real life.
Yeah.
I honestly,
And
think
you
the
know what
guys
that
are-
means, Max?
It's very
you,
confusing because he like
you
when
need
the
to buy
camera-
some merchandise.
When the camera was off, he was like playing games with us late at night. He was really fun.
We're
the
gonna
guys
get
are
you one of
fucking
these.
hypnotists.
You have to buy one of these shirts and wear it on stream, Max. For
Okay.
being wrong. Amico, no access.
Oh, we actually have. We actually have shirts.
Yeah, we have shirts.
How the hell did I not know?
Well,
this?
I am
didn't
no
get
I
me.
am no access right now too, so it's fine. I have zero access.
Well,
I've had
everybody
zero.
is
I've had
successful.
zero access the longest. I got kicked out the earliest of the
Man.
behind the scenes because I was a little critical.
Telling people to invest.
Oh my god, that's fucking embarrassing. I'm very upset with
Ugh.
myself. I really
Ugh.
didn't think I said that. I know.
I
I
didn't
know.
think you did
I
either.
know. I knew I said I think I would, but saying other people should. Oh my dear lord!
Max, the most important thing is you're not saying
Please,
it now.
please delete the video. Please delete the
No, leave it up there for accountability. Hopefully, H Bomber guy.
accountability. Oh my god!
We learn from our mistakes and we move on and we try our best not to.
But at
repeat
that
them.
time, I thought it was a good idea.
Did
You
you,
got-
believe
gotta
Tommy?
figure out
You
what stream
believed
that is.
Tommy.
I'm not going to go back and I really at that my only defense is I didn't remember, and at that time I was speaking truth to my heart, and at that time I didn't know that there were investors at Crayola. I really didn't. Like, I
56K
didn't find
warning
out,
says I went broke because of Mad Max's advice. I'm broke.
no, none of
I think he had you all under some kind of hypnotism.
Listen, I
He had him under a
I
spell.
I pre-ordered 2. I have the boxed editions. You know, it's not like I was lying to people. As soon as I knew that shit wasn't going to happen, I stopped being positive about. I'm like, I can't. There was not like Tony knows one of my breaking points was the tanks video.
Tank.
Yeah,
That was
yeah.
so obvious.
Because
dude. It was so obvious.
I was excited. Remember, I was live streaming when it popped up, and then Tony was DMing me in one Twitter, and Mr. President of Intellivision was DMing me other, and I was like, he's trying to tell me that they crossed, that they did all the verification with the assets, and Tony's like, man, I'm sorry, Max, they didn't. And I'm like, and I was like depressed on the live stream. Like, there's the tank videos where I was like, oh man, I was getting DMs from Tony and him at the same time, and I was not going to say what he told me, like that they recovered the assets and they covered their ass because they didn't. He was trying to tell me that everything's okay with it. And I'm like, I'm not rolling with this. I don't believe it. All right,
An entire company, just like they had a whole thing about just convincing YouTubers that this shit was real.
The other thing that I had a huge question about that I thought Tony and the critics were right was like the Jay Allard situation. I'm like, this doesn't seem right. Are you sure,
Right.
Tommy? And he's trying to reassure me that no, he was still a consultant at the time. There's nothing there's nothing that's devious there. And I'm like, all right.
For us,
Well,
Max,
real
for
quick.
us, from us looking in from the outside, it was obvious, right? But because you'd met and spoke to the guy, I think because you were on the inside of it and he was convincing you so hard that everything was okay.
like all the other people that didn't even know who he was. I was a fan from him way back. I even
the ones that didn't
interviewed.
know.
I
Even the ones
even
that didn't know,
interviewed.
though.
I even interviewed Doug Tenaple
Yeah.
for him, Jim, before.
Jesus.
No one else even
Wow.
has that. I interviewed him. He still follows me on Twitter. We don't really get along anymore.
Well, real quick, Max, before you leave, there is an update on Intellivision Amico from the CEO himself.
Okay.
As you see, it says, just got back from burying my mom who passed the week before Christmas. I hope to
no.
update public, but tests of final hardware have gone well. Once we have a production solution, I will make an announcement that I am working on.
Okay.
Phil Adam, just like Tommy Tallarico, is now going to go into a period of mourning for a loved one and then eventually disappear from the public eye.
Well, why isn't this officially through Intellivision then? If it's just accurate.
Somebody's asked him something and he's replied to it. Who was it? Gen X?
Yeah, we're Gen X
Well-
gamer.
Gen X, this was from December 26th, where he's like, we don't even deserve a Merry Christmas email. Seriously, not the supporters, the people with deposits, the people with back orders, not even the promised update from Phil. We are very disappointed. And then today, on the
Just
7th,
got back from burying my mom. Wow.
the week before Christmas. She passed the week before Christmas. They didn't bury her till today.
Well, I'm not gonna, they might.
Yeah, I mean, who knows? People
Some
have different
some
ways.
people still different
Oh,
traditions.
okay,
They still
right,
might
right.
might have open casket type situation and get her all presented.
Listen,
That
his
takes a
mom's
while.
passed away, right? And that's sad. However, he's not the only employee of that company, so don't give me any of that shit that they couldn't have given an update.
He might be the only employee.
Yeah.
Yeah, you
might
might
be the only-
All
All right, but I gotta go, guys. I gotta go. You guys you're dragging me back in here. I'm back in the shit. Oh my
All right.
God.
See you, Max.
All right, bye.
Okay.
Have fun.
Thanks.
Bye, Max.
That was hilarious. I can't believe that. I can't believe he said it. I was like, nah, no way. He didn't say it. And there, sure enough.
Sweet and Tender Hooligan doesn't lie, man. He may be a troll, but he doesn't lie.
1 Inch Bicep says, well, the manufacturing lawsuit does prove Tommy planned on releasing it. No, it doesn't. The manufacturing lawsuit proves that Tommy didn't plan on releasing it because they didn't have anything ready to be released. Tommy thought that he could secure a manufacturer and make it look like he was going to get ready so that other company could buy them out. But when the manufacturer's like, well, you need to move forward or we're going to keep your money, Tommy panicked. He was like, no, you can't do that. And they're like, yeah, we can. You signed the contract, stupid. Everything Tommy did was to get it set up to make it look like they were ready so another company could come in, buy them out, and then they could take it across the finish line.
His get out clause here. His get out clause here is the sentence. Once we have a production solution, I will make an announcement. That's it. That is kicking the can way down the road.
Yeah. And of course, Smash JT right in there. My condolences.
I saw
to you and
that.
your family.
I saw that.
And yes, we're looking at the archive of this. I archived it today to make sure that the tweet didn't go away. Phil Adam wasn't going to, slip away and delete his tweet.
No, but you understand, you understand if he doesn't, and he's not in a position to do anything because he's got stuff going on in his personal life. But don't try and tell me John Alvarado and Nick Richards can't put a tweet out or an update. John Alvarado is an employee of that company still. He's a mod on DGC's show, so he's still working for the company. He's watching that show. What I mean is he's curating that show now, so he's still an employee of that company. Maybe Nick Richards has stepped out of it, but there is one person at least that could have put something out, and he could have put it out publicly on Wednesday, and he didn't do it.
Yeah, I mean, and still, the Gen X gamer has a good point. Like, it's like Christmas, New Year's is coming. Like, we're into a new year. Just a simple little something. Doesn't even have to be an update. Just an update on the update. Like, yeah, we're still here. Happy New Year.
And give that one paragraph explanation that Phil Adam just gave there, and everybody would. I'm not saying everybody would be happy with it, but they would understand.
It's something. It's something.
Yeah. Silence is not the way to go, and especially when John Alvarado turns up as a mod in DJC's chat, and the banhammer starts coming down on people that are asking questions. Sweet and Tender getting timed out for asking a question. Come on, man. On Amico forever.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Didn't Phil Adams tell Smash he's being paid in stocks? That's what he said. He's getting paid now in stocks. He didn't talk about what he was already.
That's because
paid.
there's no money left. That's why he's getting stocks. But he was getting money when there was money there.
Yeah. And now that we have everybody here, or at least everybody that's going to be here, it's time to take a look at the Amico Forever Supercut provided to us from one Finbar Saunders.
You may notice that I've had a bit of extra time in my hands this week, so I've been getting to work. You know, won't be happening every week.
I've been busy. I haven't had time to do anything. So I'm glad that Finbar is picking up the slack around here.
There really is nothing of substance in this, though. That's the problem.
So how long was the show?
There's a few things that happened as well in the chat. I believe now, Mike Mullis has got the banhammer. He's the guy that's doing the producing because I'm sure he timed Sweet out and he timed a few other people out, but I haven't included that because there was other talk going on that was pointless. It was about fucking toys and food. So the only thing I've put in is the stuff that they speak about the Amico or when John Alvarado steps out and the other Alvarado guy steps in. I've got those both in there as well. The chat is cut out of it mostly.
There's 2 Alvarados?
Yeah,
well,
so what
there was
happens,
three Alvarados.
What?
At least
None of them
three
are related, apparently.
No, the 2 of them are related.
When you get to it, Tony, if you pause it, and I'll tell you what I think is happening there, because I know there's no timings on it, but I know roughly when they happened in the show. Right. I'll say what I think has happened here.
Real quick though, Kevin Alvarado says he's not related to John Alvarado, but John Alvarado and Indigo are father son. So the live stream was 1 hour and 32 minutes. And we have a 6 minute and 53 second supercut. Yeah.
Well, it's 6 minutes. The 53 seconds at the end is just me adding.
Patties.
Look what balding Bob.
Gentlemen,
What
did he say?
I wonder if Tommy left DNA on Mad Max's mask.
Come on. That's not cool.
Meanie.
All right.
Look at this guy. First, before you start, this guy in the chat, 101023. You see the name?
Yeah.
It's got to be the Deutsche Nuben alt, hasn't it?
It's got to be. And there's Sweet and Tender Hooligan.
Oh, yeah, well, I want to address.
I think I missed Hasselhoff's comment.
Yeah. Mr. Producer guy, there we go.
There it is.
Apparently the producer guy is backstage with DJC. So DJC is not even bothering highlighting his stuff. He's having whoever his producer guy is do it.
Mike Mullis is doing it.
Yeah.
I'm almost 100% sure it's Mike Mullis.
TV Zaslav, the $5 super chat. Happy New Year to everyone except the trolls. Hey, trolls are people too, but I do appreciate that. Looking forward to some good Amico news, especially after Samit's message. Yeah, I saw that message on the Amico Club, the official.
Sumit has been putting messages like that forever. Every holiday. Hey, hope to have news soon. Happy Diwali. Hope there's news soon. Happy Christmas. Hope there's
DJC's reasoning for thinking that it's something positive is laughable when he talks about the graphic.
Okay, let's hear
it. I saw something on that. I'm trying not to read too much into that.
It said good news coming. Hey, I'll take any good news I can have.
I'm happy for good news.
Excited to announce some news, and there was a lot of people that were liking that comment that were tied to Intellivision. So it's promising.
Oh, because Intellivision employees or people tied to Intellivision liked Samit's comment, that must mean it's something, guys.
Yeah.
I want to believe.
And the cool thing about that, I'll add on to that is that that was like a new graphic made just for that comment. It was like the Running Man. It said 2023, Happy New Year, good thing. I was like, oh man, so he's serious. So that was kind of cool.
I don't even think the graphic was any different from the regular one from what I saw. I think he had the Santa hat on.
So if I understand this correctly, the reason that DJC is so excited is because a Photoshop graphic was new or newer at the very least compared to all the previous Sumit tweets, I guess.
Yeah, pretty much.
How many people were in the chat?
I didn't watch it live, Dace. I don't know. It doesn't show you numbers when you're watching it on replay. So obviously, because I wasn't watching it live, I wasn't able to see people being banned as they went. But I did watch Gen X's watch along, but he didn't play video. And I noticed when Gen X was talking about it, he said, I think Sweet came into Gen X's chat and he said he'd been timed out by Mike Mullis. That's how I think he's the producer, because he's the one doing all the. There's obviously like guys like John Alvarado with a wrench, but John Alvarado isn't going to start banning people. It's unlikely. I think he's got the wrench just so that they know he's who he says he is. But live, I don't know how many watched it. I'm assuming probably about 70, like usually do. Somebody who was there could probably verify that.
Probably. What the hell is Sumit's last name? Argawal?
Argawal. It's, yeah. AGR.
Yeah, it's. I don't know how to spell that shit. Let me see. Hold on. Because I know on Twitter he has all the old, hopefully Intellivision, blah, blah, blah stuff.
It was timed out by Mike Wallace.
So if I look him up, how the hell I'm getting nothing for fucking Sumit. I put Sumit in television, not a thing.
Wow.
You spelling Sumit correctly?
Yeah. I could have swore I looked him up the other day. Let me see. Hold on. Because he probably has a weird handle on YouTube. Here it is, Sumit. Yeah, his freaking handle is Some Daddy.
Some Daddy 27, yeah.
Yeah. That's why I wasn't coming up. All right. So let's go to the media. Here, we'll take a short trip because remember, DJC was very excited based solely on the graphics. So this is the 2023 one. Merry Christmas. Look, it's got a Santa hat.
Yeah.
Wow. Oh
so
my
expect
God.
when you get your Founders Edition and your pre-orders, they're going to have a Intellivision Running Man with a Santa hat on now, because that's
how easy it is to add a little Santa hat on that.
Well, look it, guys. This is not a new graphic. 2021 had the exact same Santa hat Running Man and Santa hat in television.
Oh my God.
And obviously, Sumit, having the connections he's had, has went, make something. He's turned to somebody and said, make something up for Christmas for this fucking company, please. He probably never even looked at the graphic. He probably doesn't even run his own account.
Probably does, because there's no 2020 holiday one. Yeah. 2020, he just reposted the Happy Holiday from Intellivision. So yeah, there you go. It is exact same graphics from last year.
Does he post much else? I haven't really looked through his Twitter account. Does he post much else other than Intellivision stuff?
Oh yeah, this is. I just put on the media tab, so it's only the media stuff coming up.
Was he talking about the fact that it was a new graphic with the Santa hat, or is it like a new picture?
No, he was talking about the graphic. Yeah, he's talking about the Santa hat. We'll go back.
He's talking about the Running Man. He said the Running Man.
Yeah. So literally 2 seconds of going through the tweet, you go, "Oh, it's not a new graphic at all." So here, we'll back it up.
Made just for that comment. It was
liking that comment or tied to Intellivision, so it's promising.
And the cool thing about that, I'll add on to that is that that was like a new graphic made just for that comment. It was like the Running Man. It said 2023, Happy New Year, good thing. I was like, oh man, so he's serious. Like, so that was
the way he gets over it. It's either, I don't know if it's an act. I don't think it is at this point. I think he just is like that.
You just think he's that dumb?
I'm not saying he's dumb.
I think he's still in the fog of war shit. Like, it's still like he just believes it.
I don't want to attack the man, right? I don't.
That's not an attack. I don't think that's an attack. Maybe it's because I'm autistic. But like, if somebody's stupid and calling them like pointing out the fact that they're stupid is not an attack.
Well, it's just wouldn't that be the same thing if somebody was fat and you're pointing out that they're
Yeah,
fat?
exactly.
No, but
That's an
this is the
attack.
thing, he's
No,
not dumb.
it's the way you say it.
He's not dumb, but unfortunately, the alternative to that is a lot more sinister in nature.
I don't
Yeah.
think he's smart enough to be sinister. I think it's literally.
You
that
just called them
he's-
dumb too.
Well, in a
But
nicer
you said
way.
it in a nicer, yeah. But that's what I'm saying. See,
You could stand to lose a couple pounds.
either way, it is the same Amico hat graphic, the same Running Man hat graphic.
Well, he was talking, but he wasn't just talking about that. He was saying it had like the new 2023 thing. He was like describing the whole thing.
Well, he was describing two different ones because there's a 2023 one and then there's the Christmas one.
Okay.
So DJC was confusing himself.
You may be right then.
Yeah, Tommy Uyamiko said DJC needs the autism test.
We all do. By Tony's results.
Can you score better than me?
Aren't people that are autistic though typically a little bit smarter in certain areas?
In certain areas.
Yeah.
Well, he makes music, so
That's true. Yeah, maybe he's a savant in that area.
what kind of savant? Perhaps an idiot savant?
Idiot savant.
Listen, the fact that we've been obsessing over a fucking vaporware console for 3 years probably puts us all on a spectrum. So,
No kidding.
Actually, that was one of the things. Do you hyper focus on stuff? Apparently, normal people don't, but autistic people.
Oh God, I do.
and I'd like to say
We're all like, damn.
I'd like to say it's only this thing that's that I've been obsessing over, but it wasn't. It was the VCS and then the Chameleon before it. So been doing this for years.
Yeah. Well, it's fun. Like I've always said, it's a nice, fun distraction when all the shit that's going on in the world, the craziness. This is a nice little corner that we can come and just laugh and not
Exactly.
have to.
And you know what, Days? It's the friends we made along the way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Two real quick. Tommy O says he doesn't make the music though. His friend does. He just raps. And 56K Winning says disrespectful to the autism community to put DJC.
Yeah.
All right, back to the super chat, people. We're getting off track.
Your goose thing, I was like, oh man, so he's serious. Like, so that was kind of cool. But back to this. Anyway, sorry. This is a coupler that was.
We should move to Reb and what he got for Hanukkah and Christmas.
And I will, but I have to.
It says DJC. There's more where this came from. If you let slip what games you have played on the Amico test system, I promise to keep it a secret.
Address this amazing $10 super chat by a Silly Club member, Metal Torso, in the house. Good to see you, my friend. There is more where this came from if you let slip what games you played on the Amico test system. I promise to keep it a secret. Well, I can't really say too much, but
Refund.
if you look at our...
You did see that.
I can't say too much, but a lot of them you guys have seen, obviously. There is some stuff.
Twisted Tech says, okay, so we can't even ask about the Amico news. And Mullis says, it's not pertinent to the conversation, so no.
He was talking about,
But it's called Amico After Dark or Forever, whatever the fuck it is.
They had briefly touched on it, and I think I missed it out of the supercut. They briefly touched on somebody in the chat maybe asked them about getting sued about the furniture. And DJC said, can't remember the exact words, but I think he said something along the lines of, that's just a rumor though, isn't it? Like, it's been reporting on as factual news.
Yeah, it's not a rumor.
But they won't touch it, and I think I know the reason why they won't touch it. I think they've been told by these guys, by Alvarado, etc. Do not talk about that.
Yeah, don't talk about the furniture that was not paid for. And...
We're watching you. That's what he's saying.
You know what this has become like in North Korea, where
I said that earlier on. I said that to Sweet. I said this is North Korea, and it's Kim Jong Mullis that's running it now.
It is like they literally like in North Korea they literally like to hide how shitty their country is. They like put up wooden fake
it's a Potemkin
fronts of buildings to look like they actually have stores and shit.
No, and also Sweet. Not only are they talking about Amico? They have Amicos all over the fucking screen, and the name of the show is Amico Forever. To say it's not pertinent to the conversation is joke. And it's because two guys up from where Mike Mullis commented, you've got John Alvarado and he's watching them. And when he dips out of the chat, you'll see it later, the other Alvarado jumps straight in. So somebody from Intellivision is always in that chat and always watching. From now on. Or maybe in the past they weren't doing that, but I think now they are. And that's why it gets me thinking DJC's paid. It's an allegation I'm making, but I think he's paid.
It seems to make sense. I mean, how far we're 2023, and they're still shilling for this company. Like, what is there to gain? I mean, they do have the Amico in their hands. I mean, that's something.
He has
but...
two. He has two of them.
Yeah. Why does he need two?
Because probably one don't work.
One of them.
Yeah. When this one's not working, here, try this one. Oh, excuse me.
It's just I don't go right. I didn't watch it live. Maybe I will watch it live just to watch the bannings happen in real time. But it must. Like, you've got Justy there. You've got Sweet there. You've got a few other people that cross over to us there. It must be soul destroying for them to be in that chat, especially when they're members. I don't know if they paid for those memberships or they were gifted them, but it must be soul destroying.
I'm assuming they were gifted.
I don't know, man. Sweet's the kind of guy who would pay for this.
Call it something else, like we said. Like people said, like call it fucking something else. Then, if it's not, we can't talk about the Amico stuff.
We don't talk.
Call it something else.
Amico.
No, they can't. They can't talk about the bad stuff. They can only talk about the positive, because there was no positive.
There's no positive, so then change it to something else.
All right, we got a little more video to watch. And we also got a possible leak that we got to talk about.
Ooh.
Much, but
refund.
If you look at
you didn't see that.
I can't say too much, but a lot of them you guys have seen, obviously. There is some stuff you probably haven't. I think I'll probably just keep it at that. But I must say everything has been fantastic so far. I know I'm very vague, but I do have an NDA, so I'm trying to keep to that. I don't want to get in trouble. Once again, I'm voluntarily testing this. It's not like not like I get to keep these or get to get anything. I'm just wanting to help out something that I absolutely have a passion for and believe in. And I have one of the systems. I have one guy.
Well, he said he's not getting paid. There you go.
Yeah, but what he says and what's happening is two different things.
I'm here in the studio and I have another one upstairs.
I'm sorry, I just saw one that just comment about build a small little doghouse for the Optimus Prime. It's gonna need one, man. With that trailer, I think the thing's like 3 foot long. I'm not even kidding. The trailer's massive. I've seen pictures of it. I'm like, oh my god.
Wait, there's a huge.
It's a self-transforming trailer, dude.
Yeah, but if you build it, so
the one that goes
got
on
to have a button that says like roll.
Oh, you're really bad at this supercut job.
Well, the reason why I left this part in is because he pops up with this NDA alert part, and then they address that.
Yeah, but I think he's quote unquote joking.
I know he's joking, right? But it's a couple of words that DJC says that gets you thinking: is it all a joke?
Well, here, let's find out.
Autobots
NDA alert.
That'd be great.
See, John already said an NDA alert had to be good. I just said everything's fantastic.
It's got to be good.
Eyes are watching.
Eyes are watching.
Eyes are watching. I've got to be good. Eyes are watching.
With the woo, woo, woo.
NDA alert. NDA
That's
alert.
That's the whole reason. Hey, Scepter 7, what's going on?
Hey, Scepter.
I don't have to, worry about all that stuff with my version of the Amico. I could fire it up right now if I wanted to and show you guys the console.
And play Cat Fighter.
But yeah, no. Anyway, this is getting crazy. 3DO, Saturn, Vectrex.
Hi, John.
3DO, Saturn, and Vectrex. Whoa. None of that. Tommy still hasn't made the Amico come out. What the hell are they talking about 3DO and Vectrex for?
We're going to. Oh, take care, John. Thanks for stopping in, man. We'll see. We'll talk with you soon, man. We'll have to get you on the show.
We'll have to get you on the show. Clearing house so that you can make way.
So we got about another
look at some
To
of
make
these.
way
It's
for
like,
them to come
well,
on.
what could we build? What kind of mascot character?
This is about 2 minutes later. Kevin Alvarado pops in.
Oh, Kevin Alvarado says he's not related.
It doesn't mean he's an employee, right?
Yeah, or former employee. He's not an employee anymore.
Okay. Merry New Year. Just checking briefly. When we say
Potion's
check
still
in,
Potion's not banned yet. He's in the chat.
Potion's quite good at sort of
Hiding.
Yeah,
When he asks it.
he doesn't talk too much shit. So
No, he doesn't.
Because obviously Sony's going to make some movies.
Hey, Kevin. Good to see you, man. Merry New Year.
In early Xbox, they
I don't see him in where the hell is he?
Who?
Kevin Alvarado.
His comment had already passed, but they highlighted it.
Oh, okay.
had a bunch.
You had
You had Blinks. You had
Speaking of the new generation, I want to thank I want to go through what we got coming up. I do have a lot. I'm sure you guys are working on a lot of stuff as well. We're getting we're about the hour 15, so we might probably got to take off. I do want to say, hopefully, there was no Amico news. That's why our topics are mostly this. This is a new format. If you've noticed, we do not see you in the chat unless it's been highlighted by our producer. So this is kind of...
You know what? He could be bullshitting and just playing this. There's I can't see you unless the producer highlights it. So that way he could pick and choose. And then it's not my fault who got highlighted.
he could be, but why wouldn't Mullis be there doing that? And he's such a tool. What else is he going to do? Because
basically then you're saying Mullis is there. In order to highlight things, he would have to be in access to his, what are they using? StreamYard or OBS or whatever it is they're using, right? So Mullis would have to be there. And then instead of being on camera and talking, he's just sitting there backstage.
Sitting there.
I don't know if he is there, but it has to be him. The reason it has to be him is because Mullis has to swing the banhammer.
No, I think, see, that's what I'm saying is, I think Mullis is here as a mod, but the producer, quote unquote, is the one who's highlighting comments. I think the producer doesn't exist. It's just DJC choosing what he wants to highlight now, and he can blame it on this mysterious producer guy. See, guys, it's not me that skipped your comments. It's not me that didn't highlight
it's the producer.
Yeah.
We'd have to watch a bit closer to see if he does react to anything without it coming up on screen. Then, because
watch his eyes. Let's see. Does he?
Well, watch his hands.
Watch his hands when the next thing comes up. But you would also probably hear a mouse click, wouldn't you?
No, not necessarily.
I don't think anything else comes up now in this clip. I think this is the.
Let's see. His hands are visible.
I literally got to engage with you guys and not go, huh? What did you guys just say? And be staring and sifting through chat.
That was a nice change.
It was great.
Okay, we'll go back.
There you go. Yeah. Go back. We were at 435.
Yeah.
At 215. Look at his hands are off screen over here.
Wanting to help out something that I absolutely have a passion for. And
that wasn't him.
What'd he do? Is he left-handed?
His right hand is over here. You don't see where his right hand's at.
Believe it.
His left hand did something.
I have one of the systems. I have one down here in the studio, and I have another one.
Go back.
Back into
biceps.
the left.
Back into the left.
I'm just wanting to help out something that I absolutely have a passion for and believe in.
Yeah, maybe.
Could have been.
Where's the next one?
On the next.
That was a super chat.
Yeah, but someone still had to highlight it.
This is a coupler that was.
No, that was.
I missed the
it faded in. Okay, yeah.
I think that was the only one that we got on this. Is
his thing up? Is that still on his channel? We could just go and look.
I'm not
on the full video. On the full video.
That was
right here. I think this one has it.
We'll just skip through the comments.
That's the whole reason.
Yeah.
He is kind of looking down at something.
I think he's the producer, or it could easily be Nick or Rab also highlighting it. He could give all three could have access, so either all three could be doing it.
But surely it could be Mullis not.
Yeah, but that would be so how lame is it that you're gonna be there the whole time, have access to the thing, but you're going to sit backstage and never appear on the stream.
But that's what he
Mike,
does, though,
this
Tony.
is
Because you
Mike
can see him in the
Mullis we're
chat.
talking about.
You can see him in the chat from the moment it starts to the moment it ends. The whole show, he's there, and he's banning people.
Yeah, but
He's
being a
banning
mod and watching, like, you could be a mod and like do other things, like, but to be sitting backstage in the StreamYard or in the OBS or whatever, that's a whole nother level of. I mean, because we got people. Tommy's been here the whole time in the chat. He's a mod. He could be banning people left and right if he wanted to.
Yeah, but it's like Dave says, it's Mike Mullis.
Yeah, that's true.
There was no Amico news. That's why our topics are mostly this. This is a new format. If you've noticed, we do not see you in the chat unless it's been highlighted by our producer. So this is kind of...
See, why would you just not name me like Mike Mullis is the producer, right? Yeah. It's really odd that he keeps hammering home the producer and not giving a name.
Maybe he doesn't want to just throw Mullis under the bus and be like, he's the one doing it, you know.
You can see who's when you get timed out. Can you see who's doing it to you?
Yeah, but that's different. Again, you have to separate the idea of the producer being a mod.
But the guy
Mullis is a mod. We know
him
that.
Under the bus, but throwing him under the bus is irrelevant because if he's swinging the banhammer, why would?
But that's not the producer.
But that's not the producer. Like, why would you be bothered about naming him then as the producer if he's the one doing all the banning in the chat?
Because you could 100% see who banned. So yeah. So again, I don't think Mullis is the producer. Hey, for all we know, it might be John Alvarado or an intern in Intellivision.
Hell, it could be Relic Gamer.
Could be Phil Adams.
Kind of cool that we just I literally got to engage with you guys and not go, huh? What did you guys just say? And be staring and sifting.
How would he get to engage? This makes no sense. How could he be engaging more with the chat by not being able to see the chat?
No, he's talking about them two, those two guys.
Oh, he's like, forget the chat. I was able to talk to my buddies.
Because you do see him when you watch like previous ones, you'll see him zoned out looking at the screen. And then he's also distracted by, I think he has his Discord going off as well during the show, doesn't he?
We heard that before. It was like ding, ding.
Through chat.
That was a nice change.
It was great, man. It was really cool. So literally everything we see is just what's on the screen here. So I'm hoping chat was fine today. I guess I'll find out.
One of the things we need to touch on is explaining more of this format, by the way.
Yeah. And if you've noticed, when you click in to come in here to chat, you agree to the new guidelines that will pull up right away. Also, I did have a message right at the beginning of chat.
I agree to make a meme of Brad.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I agree to do this, that, and the other thing. But no, it's just a better way to try to get this thing as we get close to an Amico release. So
Delusional.
Tommy O got banned. I will tell you this, guys. If you are banned from the DJC chat, if you're banned and you have a membership, refund your membership. There's no point in having it if you got banned.
Sweet and Tender said earlier on he paid $50 in memberships for people.
Yeah.
And that's how they treat you.
I've been banned from there for a long time.
I was banned before I even knew DJC was a thing.
I don't know if I am.
You probably are. It's guilty by association.
I'll have to subscribe and try and see.
This is a place you can come in and not have dirty jokes.
Welcoming community.
In more of a welcoming thing. And it's just, hey, if you're talking video games, it could be Atari, it could be Xbox, it could be PlayStation, it could be the Amico, it could be anything. I'm just done with any type of drama, stories, speculations, anything. Anything. Yeah.
Anything that makes Amico look bad. So all of it.
So that's what I'm saying. So that's what this format is about. It's just to make everyone, and I saw a lot of people that haven't showed up here in a long time coming back and talking, because that's what it is. And I have no problem with people that joke and make fun and do that. I just don't want it on this show anymore. So it's just going back to the fan cast originally started being.
Yeah. The way to best sum this up is we want this to be a place where we can hang out and talk games.
Absolutely.
Time to talk about games.
Regardless of what side of any topics you're on. So long as you want to engage with the games or the topics
man.
that we're talking about, you are welcome here. If,
And the topics they're talking about are never going to be the bad things about the Amico.
Kevin Alvarado's comment, Tony. I'm also done with the drama. It was wearing me out. Really?
if you're not going to do
Really,
that,
Kevin? Really?
it's going to be disruptive and a problem, then it needs to be handled. But
Well, anyways,
we're going to drop that and we're going to move onward.
Yeah. Well, anyway, so
I'm just happy you guys came so close to voting Vectrex. Thank you.
new devastating Just Cause music channel, which is not family friendly. And
Thanks
oh,
for hanging out with
I
us,
have
everybody.
one more huge announcement about Amico. Let me tell you this.
You're not leaving my troll song in.
Oh, was that you? I thought he put that in.
No, that was me.
No, the troll song is copyright. We're not going to.
It's copyrighted, right? Okay, get rid of that.
Not gonna. What did he say though? Just for clarity's sake.
Nothing. No, he ended the stream right there. So the I can't remember what words he used. Was it tomfoolery,
It was a bad
cosplay,
joke.
skylarkings? Don't do any of that, but he can do it right at the end there just to piss everybody off. No horseplay, tomfoolery, skylarkings, or
Skylarking.
whatever. He used some olden timesy words, didn't he?
So old times you.
Horseplay, skylarkings, tomfoolery.
All right, so I'm going to real quick get rid of the Finbar Saunders, and I'm going to put on my screen so we can see what the Amico looks like booting up. You ready for it? Here it
Yeah,
comes.
man. Let's go.
Boom! There it is. Amico booting up.
Amico.
Amico. And I don't got an NDA, so I don't care. There it is. That's the Amico screen. Look at that, guys. In its full glory.
Can we play Astro Smash?
We can't play nothing right now.
We can play Hater Smash. Better game.
Yeah. Less lag.
Yeah.
As you can see from that, we have Astro Smash, Biplanes, Cornhole, Shark, Skiing, Snafu, Armor Battle. Lots of good stuff on the Amico. All right, we got one more Amico thing. And this is, I don't know if we talked about this. Some guy named Garrett Charuk. Looks like the guy from the Foo Fighters, if you ask me.
Yeah.
But he says, leak info. I don't know where he's getting this leak info, so take this with a huge pillar of salt. Phil Adams sending out an email in a few days officially canceling the Amico, according to one of the last employees AXN had spoken with. I have no idea what AXN is. Anybody know of that outlet?
EXN? No.
No, I had looked that up. I didn't know who it was.
You
Either.
find
I
out what
couldn't
it
find
was?
any. No, I couldn't find anything about it. I looked.
I spoke with. He is going to spill the beans somewhere, with no regard to NDA. Intellivision has no money nor teeth to fight a legal battle. Finally, this ride comes to an end. I was told to keep an eye on a very specific website. This person is allegedly going to upload everything they were able to access at some point in time. Documents, emails, some file formats. So maybe the only way a few of these games will see the light of day. Still need to see the official conclusion with my own eyes to be able to walk away from this debacle without looking back. It's been a car wreck the last few years. It's over, gang. And that was the post.
So who is he again? This Garrett guy?
No idea. Just someone that was in the Facebook group, apparently.
All right. Okay.
And I have no idea what the hell an AXN is. What do you think? You think this is real?
Who knows at this point? I don't think he said that the only way the games will see the light of day is from this dump that this person's going to do. I don't think so. I think they're going to. I think anything that's finished, it's happening. Anything that's finished is going to get licensed out to other platforms, as they're doing with those 3 games or the 4 games or however many it was that they've already struck a deal for.
You okay?
But
There,
I do think the
Yeah, I'm
IP
here.
will be getting sold off though.
You sounded a little. You're making some noises. You're making Carl noises, and I wasn't sure.
Sorry, I was adjusting my ankle and moving around on the couch a little bit.
I just heard like rustling and I was like, oh shit. He's getting excited by this Amico news.
No, it's just ankle pain noises.
Sure it is. So I was able to find Garrett Wichurik
Yeah, it's quite a unique name. You should be able to dig him up from somewhere else.
on Instagram, and I'm not seeing anything on his Instagram that's I don't want to like dox him or nothing, but I'm not seeing anything that's like I work for blah 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 or I do X, Y, and Z. It just says he's an artist. Check it out or not. Drawing, painting, scribbles, doodles, photographs, and music. So he just seems to be like some kind of rando. But I don't think I don't think people would just be like putting stuff up like that, like willy nilly. Like, hey, by the way, the Amico is going out of business because Phil Adam said so privately.
Yeah, that's kind of stupid.
I mean, we've seen Stranger Things. Well, I haven't seen the show, but I hear it's good. But
It is
so who
good.
knows? Have you seen it?
Oh yeah, I love it.
Yeah, it's good. It's good. It's very good.
This newest season really kind of like it was one of the best ones, so it's worth watching, Tony.
Maybe I'll go back when I have a chance and watch all the Stranger Things. Yeah, I'm not seeing anything. He posted like one or two Amico pictures, so he was somebody that was at least interested in it at some point. But no idea what AXN is.
I wonder if it was a typo.
For what?
I don't know.
Yeah, it doesn't come up anywhere on a search with his name attached to it.
Have you reached out to this guy?
No.
Maybe we should.
Why would we do that? That's harassment. We don't harass people.
No, just say, hey, interested to just say, hey, what is the AXN thing? Or, you don't have to harass him.
I don't have Facebook too, so I don't know.
It's a television channel, right?
Yeah, it's the Intellivision Facebook.
No. AXN is a television channel.
It's a Sony network.
Yeah, it wouldn't be that, would it?
I don't think so. Why would they?
This sounds too big time, to be dealing with stuff like this.
So yeah,
Sony buying Intellivision confirmed, guys. So,
and I can't think of anything else that it would be, as far as what could the, what's next to A. So, if he made a mistake, AZN, ASN, ADN, or ACN.
Who knows?
we'd have to ask him. Yeah, we'd have to ask the guy.
We need to talk to him.
Unless you think that the N is the one that's wrong, then it would be AXB, AXH, AXJ, or AXM.
Yeah.
Or if the A is wrong, then it would be QXN, WXN. Yeah, I am autistic.
Well, we all are, aren't we? We're obsessing over this 3 letters.
Maybe he meant Ars Technica. Ars Tech. Maybe that could be. Maybe he was text to speech. Ars Tech. AXN.
Nah, it's too clean to be text to speech.
Nah, no way.
No way.
The rest of it's
Carl uses text to speech, and it's always littered with. I have to decipher what he said.
Yeah. Who knows? I haven't put in AXN video gaming. Nothing. So
I don't think anything in the US would be able to use that abbreviation anyway because of that Sony channel. Wouldn't they?
No, they would. I mean,
Would they?
yeah, it's really weird the way things work. Like, if you're a completely different, um, product or whatever, it wouldn't matter.
Yeah. 1 inch is doing the legwork. He's asked him. He's waiting for his response. He'll let us
See
know.
you later, sweet and tender.
Awesome. Got to go.
He's-
Oh man, Sweet and Tender's leaving after he comes in, exposes Mad Max.
That was funny. Poor Max. He backed the wrong horse.
Yeah, I can't believe I didn't remember him either saying to go ahead and invest.
But why
I
would
didn't
you
either.
remember it at that point? Because they were all talking like that at that point, and it was just water off a duck's back when they said it. When they jumped ship, yeah. Maybe now, looking back on it, even they don't remember saying it themselves. Even DGC
No, I don't
has
think they
never
do.
told anybody to invest, and there was literally a fucking Goose video showing them that he said it.
No, but I
He's
think
still-
DGC is just lying. That's why he Mad Max genuinely. I don't think he remembered saying it.
No, I don't think he did. Honestly,
No,
it must
it's-
be a bit of a blur for them all the last couple of years.
Well, think about it. I mean, how much energy did they put into this thing? I mean, they literally fought a freaking battle on a losing side, and then just to keep just everything that you believed, and it has to make you question yourself on any future things, like how that was like so duped so badly here and so publicly.
And also, Days, you said it yourself, it all happened as well. The beginning of it all happened through COVID, so the real world was a mess as well. So
Yeah.
everybody's minds were a bit all over the place.
Yeah.
And I
It
know,
was.
I understand, I don't sit here and say I will never be duped by somebody. If you'd met him and he'd spoken to you and he'd managed to convince you the way he convinced them, who's to say any of us wouldn't have been taken in by him?
I've said that same thing a couple different times in my hammock, saying I want to believe that I would have been strong enough to be like, this is fucked up. And
That's
I think
why
I think the way that I said it was, I could see myself listening to him at first and kind of buying into it. However, I feel like I would have, after a little bit of time, not very much time, maybe like a week or
you would have
two,
worked
and
it out.
just
Yeah, you would.
I would
worked
have
it out.
started thinking like this isn't. I would have done a little bit more research and started thinking about things, and I would have been watching these other videos, and I'd have been listening to you guys, and I'd be like, man, they're making good points.
But they all were working it out for themselves over time. This is why I never really. Once Max went first, and then Smash went, and then John went, and I think Saggy's kind of coming off of it now. That's why I don't hold any grudge. I mean, I don't hold any grudge anyway because I've not pre-ordered it or invested or anything like that. My problem is just people that are getting conned.
I switched gears in my thing pretty. I switched gears, like trying to say to them, even before Smash came, I was trying to reach out to them and say, hey, just come talk to us. Come think about it from our perspective. Let us tell you the things that I was trying. I tried to. I stopped a while back just shitting on them because I wanted to see, because my ultimate thing always was to go, like, I was always like thinking about Tommy, this narcissist, just manipulator, and it was like to take away his power, like to take away his YouTube connections. I wanted to switch and say, come to our side. Come on, come look at it from our side, you know.
Well, he's finished now. The problem that you've got now is DGC is taking over like the Tommy role, and that ain't good because that guy is
bad.
That guy's an investor. He's an investor in the thing, and he's not disclosing it, and he's running a YouTube channel, and he's doing exactly what, but he's not doing exactly what Tommy did. Tommy did it really. He did it in a much more
like at this point, it is a good thing to think about, is because DJC has been in this thing this long. Like, how do you still continue to do this? Like, there's got to be some incentive other than just fog of war bullshit. You can't be that stupid. You have to be getting paid. There has to be something.
There has to be something. Even if he isn't being paid, He's being compensated. There's no way that he's sending those 2 consoles back. He's got
No, well, that's compensation in itself. To be given those systems, even if he does have to give them back, he's getting to play it where nobody else has. The people that have put tons of money into this thing will never get to touch that controller, and he's getting that in some way. That is some kind of compensation. I mean, he's testing the system.
And this is why the question that Smash JT asked at the time those 2 consoles went out: why are you not giving me one? I've invested 10 times the amount DJC has, and I'm also going to be able to review this thing critically.
Yeah, they don't want it to be reviewed critically.
They don't want it to be reviewed at all.
They don't. No, they want it. What they wanted was they wanted to send these things out to give this is another part of the pulling the wool over people's eyes, is that these things went out to these 2 and they unboxed them. Why would you unbox a test unit?
Yeah.
And it's to show that, oh, look, this really is happening, guys. It's real. I'm holding it in my hands. I've got 2 of them.
All right, real quick. Beefy says, people still fly the Confederate flag in America. Why would Amico be any different? Well, I mean, they're just Leonard Skinner fans and fans of the Dukes of Hazzard car. That's all.
Hey, I like the Dukes of Hazzard.
I do too. I love that car.
Oh, it is a nice car, and I
didn't know what the flag meant at the time. To be
General
honest.
Lee. None of us did.
General
I grew up down in Georgia,
and it's a beautiful, beautiful car. Also, I'm a big fan of the Freebirds, and they used to wear the stars and bars. Amico's about heritage, not hate. Yeah, exactly. The equal to the Confederate flag in America, Amico land is Tommy's dirty Spidey. So I think that's it for the Amico news. So 19 of you guys can go away. And we can start talking about other things that are boring. Kind of like Microsoft calls FTC unconstitutional. But there's an update. Xbox maker retracts allegations that the commission is violating its Fifth Amendment rights. So apparently Microsoft was really upset with the FTC. This is from GameIndustry.biz. This is the original story. Microsoft yesterday filed its response to the U.S. Federal Trade Commission's antitrust complaint over its proposed acquisition of Activision Blizzard. The 37-page response, which fortunately we will not be going over, covers numerous arguments Microsoft has already made in public or to other regulators, stating a lack of incentive to make Call of Duty exclusive, a desire to grow its minimal footprint in mobile gaming space, and painting Sony's protestations as those of a dominant market leader looking to hinder disruptive innovation that could benefit consumers. He wants to be a disruptor like Tommy Tallarico.
Let's do it. Let's click on the 37-page response and watch these chat numbers plummet.
I don't know, when we were doing the SEC documents talking about taxes and stuff, that our numbers went way up
because that's television.
Where's the anti-Microsoft people at? Come on, I know you're out there. Sony may prefer to protect the revenues it gets from more expensive individual game sales, but the antitrust laws do not serve to insulate the dominant market player in its favored business model from competition, Microsoft said. However, it also took issues with the FTC itself. These proceedings are invalid because the structure of the commission as an independent agency that wields significant executive power and the associated constraints on the removal of the commissioners and other commission officials violates Article 2 of the U.S. Constitution and the separation of powers, Microsoft said. It also took exception to the FTC's practice of having its complaints initially heard by administrative law judges that are appointed by the FTC rather than a judge from the federal circuit and district court system. I mean, that is a valid point, right? Like the FTC is like, hey, we're having issues, and so we're going to appoint a judge to decide whether or not that's a legitimate issue, which kind of seems unfair, right?
Yeah.
The structure of these administrative proceedings, in which the commission both initiates and finally adjudicates the complaint against Microsoft, violates Microsoft's Fifth Amendment due process right to adjunction before a neutral arbiter. It's not entirely wrong. Beyond its arguments, Microsoft also acknowledged in its response that it intends to make 3 future ZeniMax titles exclusive to Xbox and PCs. While the names of those games were redacted, Microsoft said all 3 are designed to be played primarily alone or in small groups. It contrasted that to Call of Duty, saying Activision shooter is more analogous to ZeniMax games and has continued to support on multiple platforms like Fallout 76 or Elder Scrolls Online, because these games are designed to be played together by broad communities of gamers on different platforms. Where do you guys sit on this issue? And I know we've talked about this before, but what do you say? Do you think that if they get Call of Duty, that's it, Xbox wins, it's over, Sony go home? Or do you think it's irrelevant?
No.
It is irrelevant, but the idea that it's against your constitution, that's not. I don't want to touch your constitution. It's a mess, I think, isn't it?
No, our constitution is beautiful. It's a perfect document.
Yeah, sure reads like it. Article number 1 is you can have a gun, right?
No,
that's
Article
2.
1 is free speech.
All right, well, Article 2 is the gun.
It's the right to
why
bear
is
arms.
Why is this
Right
violate
to bear
Article
arms.
2?
No, it's the Second Amendment, not the second article. This is Article 2 of the Fifth Amendment.
Okay.
The right to due process.
It's the living document. No, but it's. I don't know. I honestly, I think console exclusives are stupid. I just don't really. I mean, I get why they do it because they're trying to get you to buy this one system over the other, but it's just like the only person that it's hurting is the consumer.
Yeah, I don't think that's what would happen in this case, in all honesty. I don't think Microsoft will stop Call of Duty going on the PlayStation.
Well, I'm saying even if they did.
I don't think they will either.
Let's go.
If they did, it's their choice, yeah.
Well, I'm saying in the scenario that they did, that's what the FTC is saying. Like, if Call of Duty was exclusive to the Xbox family of consoles, do you think in that world that's it for Sony? Like 5 years down the road, Sony's out of business because they don't have Call of Duty.
No,
that isn't even possible because of the amount of console sales they've had up till now. People aren't just going to get rid of that console and buy an Xbox.
Well, I'm saying I said 5 years because that would be when the next one's going to launch, right?
well, Sony will just pick up some other things that they can have exclusive, but
You think the next generation will be 5 years from now?
Okay, let's say 10 years, whatever the next generation. Do you think if there's no Call of Duty on the PS6, that's it for Sony? That they're going to basically peter out?
That's Sony's fault. It really is.
No, that's not the question. The question isn't Sony. The question was, do you think they're going to peter out, or do you think that they'll actually still?
Well, if they do, it's their own fault. I don't know if they will. Like this, you're asking to look 10 years into the future, but if they do peter out and die because Call of Duty was taken away from them 10 years previous, then Sony don't deserve to have a fucking console that's a success over one franchise that they knew they were losing 10 years previous. I don't agree with a government getting involved in 2 private or publicly traded companies merging. It's wrong.
Well, we have antitrust laws and
yeah, we had to because
monopoly laws.
There was a lot of problems with monopolies here.
But this isn't a monopoly. I'm sorry, right? Call of Duty.
No, but
I don't believe it is. Duty, I don't think it is either. I don't think it's a monopoly either. But that's why they're doing it. They think it is.
They're not saying Call of Duty is the monopoly. What they're saying is that if Call of Duty should go exclusive to Xbox, that Xbox would then get a monopoly eventually because of all the people going to Xbox and coming away from PlayStation.
But so what?
It'd be like if, okay, let's say that we had a company that all of a sudden they get exclusive rights to oil, right? Your company could still use solar and wind and hydroelectric energy, but my company has sole access to the oil industry. And we're the only ones that are going to sell gasoline. Yours would eventually go out of business, right? Providing energy. That's what they're saying, basically. Like,
but Tommy Amico makes a good point here about Blu-ray players. So PlayStation 4 and 5 have made Blu-ray players obsolete. You could say they've monopolized the market.
But they're not. But the way our system works is they're not primarily a Blu-ray player, so it doesn't matter. It's like saying mobile phones have made landlines obsolete.
I would say Blu-ray players kind of went out because of just streaming. I mean, I think that's just more to do with like technology changes.
Yeah.
This is just having to do with it's like
there's
so
only
they have that like basically like, well, because Microsoft has so much more money than Sony does, so they can literally just keep buying this shit up, and they're just saying that it'll be the end of Sony eventually. Like Call of Duty would be a big get. I mean, it would be a big thing.
Microsoft should buy Sony, man.
That would definitely not allow.
That would definitely become a monopoly. Right now, it's kind of like what do they call? What is the word?
Duopoly.
Polyopoly or something, or like
duopoly.
a multi. But not just duopoly, because Nintendo's
no,
there
they don't
too.
count. They don't count Nintendo.
Well, that's the thing. Basically, there's three. I mean, right now but it's called something, and I can't think of what it's called. It's like like when there's like a few companies basically in charge of everything, because there's no other. You've seen these other. No other company can come in right now. There's three companies basically, and there's no competition because they own the everything. They own the market.
Yeah.
It's called something. I just can't remember what it's called. Instead of monopoly, it's like a.
We'll call it a two-party system for now.
Yeah.
What they should do is they should buy Sony. Microsoft should buy Sony, and then Microsoft should buy the U.S. government and change the law.
All right, Joshua Press says Tencent Games are becoming a monopoly and nobody bats an eye.
They're based out of China, though, right?
Yeah, they're a Chinese company. There's like nothing we could do. We're like, no, don't do that. And they're like, yeah, whatever.
Yes, oligarchy. My caps lock is stuck. That's it.
Don't Russia have an oligarchy?
Yeah, the other guys.
Oligarch. They have an oligarch.
No, oligarchy.
No, they have a bunch of them. They're the finance behind the government, behind the prime minister or president.
But that really often refers to like big companies who have sway in the government. Basically, I don't think Microsoft, Sony, and Nintendo are swaying government decisions.
Well, Microsoft, Bill Gates has a lot of power. I mean,
okay, maybe Microsoft.
That'd be the only one. Nintendo's certainly not.
No. Sony is worth like $150 billion, which is a joke compared to how much Microsoft is worth.
Trillions.
How much Amazon is worth.
Yeah.
I mean, those are the companies they really need to worry about. All right, well, let's see. There was an update. Axial reports that Microsoft has retracted its allegations against the FTC. A revised filings removes the section in which the platform holders suggested the Commission's actions violate the U.S. Constitution, although maintained the rest of its argument that the proposed acquisition of Activision Blizzard will not affect competition in the game industry. Microsoft public affairs spokesman told David Cuddy is this sentence right? Microsoft public affairs spokesman told David Cuddy, told Axios. We initially put all the potential arguments on the table.
The first told should be gone because the spokesperson is David Cuddy.
Yeah. That's what I thought, but I wasn't sure if maybe they were talking to David Cuddy and then he talked to
This is why
editors exist.
Anytime we ever read an article, you always find something and you pick it out and then you stress over it. Don't stress over it, man. Don't worry about it.
But we all know why I do it now, so it's okay.
Knock a few points off that autism test. Come on.
I can't help it. It bothers me so much. We appreciate feedback about these defenses and are engaging directly with those who express concern to make our position clear. So there you go.
Then you get Intellivision is worth a tree fitty.
Yeah.
You goddamn Loch Ness monster!
Whoa! I'm not sure if that was.
Am I cancelled now?
That's cancelable offense. Phil would let you have it for a dime bag? Hell yeah. All right, now I was hoping Gary would pop in by now, but he's not here. We got one story left, and it's spicy, spicy, spicy. Are you gentlemen familiar with limited run games?
Yes.
Okay, so there was an employee by the name of Cara Lynn. She worked for limited run games. I said she worked because she no longer does, because she was fired after the Twitterati went after her.
Community manager, right? She was.
Yeah, she's a community manager. And so what had happened? This is how the story is being presented. I don't know if this is true, if this is a coincidence, but apparently she expressed interest in the upcoming Harry Potter games. Very looking forward to playing Hogwarts Legacy. You know,
Is that because of the politics of what's her name?
J.K. Rowling.
Or some of the statements she made?
So J.K. Rowling
Jesus
is called transphobic, and because this community manager was like, "Hey, looking forward to this Hogwarts game," people on Twitter decided to start looking at Carolyn, and apparently Carolyn follows Blair White, lives a TikTok. I think maybe Glenn Beck, some other people. And then they dug up a tweet from 2016 that reads as follows. I will pull it up on the old screen. They put a red box around it, which was very helpful to let me know that that's the thing in the tweet. It says, if you think the number of trans crying about using a bathroom is higher than the pervs using the excuse, you are what is wrong with the world. This was from May 13th, 2016. And thus, this and the people she followed was used as evidence that Carolyn was transphobic. And an upswell grew on Twitter until Limited Run Games was pressured to fire her. Let her go. So, what do we think about this, gentlemen? We think that Limited Run Games should have fired her, shouldn't have fired her, justified, unjustified. Personal Twitter accounts are just that. What are we thinking?
I mean, I don't really like that tweet. I mean, it's unnecessary, but I don't think it's right to. I mean, it's not like it was from what, 8 years ago. I mean,
No.
Come on.
Your math
Come
is
on.
bad. Your math is very bad. It's from 2016.
Yeah, 9 years ago. Fuck, yeah, 7.
I was like, I'm throwing you a rope, and you're like going in the opposite direction. You're swimming away from the life jacket. All right. 7 years ago.
Yeah, come on. I mean, the tweet is not of the greatest quality. It's better left unsaid, things like that. But I don't know. I mean, you can't just fire somebody because of who they follow online.
I mean, you can because they did.
You can. You certainly can, but I don't know, man. This shit, dude. This country is so stupid right now. But all these things that we bicker over, it just
This
so
stuff
tough.
needs to be dealt. Yeah, it needs to be dealt with like mostly with silence if you've got these things that you want to say about it, because eventually this will all work itself out. Your country, I will admit, is gone a bit overboard. Where things like in California, they want to jail you for misgendering. I'm sorry, right? But come on. We have bigger problems, don't we? But
I think that's 100% stupid, and I will go on record as saying that throwing people American math. That's what you were using, that new math. You shouldn't throw anybody in jail for saying things, right? Is it rude to misgender someone? Yes.
You have a part of your like I don't know your constitution, but part of
it's
your
the First
constitution
Amendment.
is free speech, right?
Number one. That was the first thing they wanted to make sure that we could say, because we came from, England, where you could be beheaded for saying the wrong thing. They came here and they wanted to have a country that was, you can say what the fuck you want. You can worship whatever you want. It's supposed to be freedom, but everything has changed because so much shit is online, and all these companies have the ability to censor you because they're saying it's not covered by free speech because it's a private company, but it is. Like what you say in Twitter, it is a public forum. It's basically like what you would do if you went back in the olden days and you went to your town square and had a conversation. Like Twitter is literally the town square, and it should be free to say what you want, even though to an extent. I mean, you certainly don't need to be in there threatening people and inciting violence and shit, but
which is common sense, right?
whether I mean, it's for better or for worse, this is the country that we live in. These are the rules. I mean, and that's the problem that we live in right now, because people will say that if our words, by those things that they said, incites violence, because you're
no, but
that's
here's
what they
the thing.
say.
Here's the thing. If I call you a slur of a racial nature, of a religious nature, they're not talking about jailing me, right? We've already decided, and we've already discussed this as a country and said, hey, it's wrong to call someone the N-word, but you can say it because of free speech, right? Now you can be fired from your job. Obviously, you could be disciplined,
Yeah,
reprimanded,
there's
and all that.
consequences to your actions,
But you can't be jailed, right, for those things.
Yeah.
No.
And that's the same thing. Look, you can misgender someone, and I can understand. Say, hey, you did it at work. You're gone. You know, this is bad. We're gonna, slap you. Hey, don't do that. But throwing someone in jail, no, that's ridiculous. Do I need to get
No,
on? We've been waiting
never.
for you, Gary.
Gary won't hold back. I'm quite interested to hear what Gary's got to say. If before Gary gets on, right, if I can just say this, and I say this at the risk of cancelling myself, but I am in the UK. I'm not in America where they're threatening to throw me in jail for misgendering. That's one part I can't get on board with because it's too difficult for me. It's not because I'm deliberately trying to misgender people. It's because I'm an idiot, and if I see a man, I'm going to call him a man. Unfortunately. But there's all the other stuff. What's his name? The Elliot Page, right? People like that who have went through quite a serious transition in their life to become the gender they want to be. I'm more than happy to call him a he, right? The thing I had a problem with, and I think Joe Rogan touched on it, is when an MMA fighter goes from a transition from male to female and fights in a cage against a woman. That shouldn't be happening. Powerlifters as well have got an unfair advantage over natural women.
Yeah.
Things like this shouldn't be going on, and it's just common sense that it shouldn't be going on. But there's a certain sectors of society that's telling us that's no, you can't say that. Why not? Are we dropping common sense? Are we not trying to? The reason why J.K. Rowling's getting it in the neck is because she's a woman, and this other woman here is a woman. We are not women. So none of this stuff affects us at the base level. It affects them. They have to share a shower room, a toilet, things like that with people who have decided that they want to be female, while they can still put their hand in their pants and feel a cock in their pants. And that to me just doesn't make any sense. It's not common sense. It's wrong. No matter how that person feels at the time, if you're really serious about changing gender, go all the way, and I'll call you a she. If you were a he before.
Well, to sort of, I don't want to say play devil's advocate, but to inform people who might not be informed on this. I don't know how it is in other countries. Okay, speaking strictly as an American, here in America, you have to see a psychiatrist, and then you have to live as the opposite gender for a year before they're like, yeah, go ahead and get the operation, right?
Right.
So for a year, you can't cut off your meat and two veg. So in that period of time, you have to live as a woman while still having a dick and balls.
We've just passed a law in Scotland because the Scottish government has devolved from the UK government. We've just passed a law recently that says at the age of 16 now, not 18, you can decide what gender you want to be without going through any of that.
Yeah, well, that's bad.
That ain't right.
That's dangerous.
And I don't get on board with it. And I don't get on board with it because we need to protect people. And I mean, we need to protect women.
We need to protect people from themselves a lot of times.
Yes.
Now, exactly. I will say this. I will say the idea that, there's going to be pervs, like the whole idea of like, oh, it's going to be a pervy dude that's pretending to be a woman to get into a woman's bathroom, right? And it's going to, kitty diddler type situation. Realistically, why are you sending kids into the bathroom by themselves? I never understood this. I'm a parent. I've never ever sent my kid into the bathroom alone.
The only way that would be is if you were there with your daughter and she's like 9 or 10, you wouldn't want to bring a 9 or 10
She goes into the
girl.
men's room.
You would bring a 10-year-old girl into the men's room? I don't know. I could see bringing a 5-year-old, 5 or 6-year-old. Let's say 10, 11, 12, even up to 13.
Dude, you've been in. We're not like just hanging out with our dicks out. Like there's stalls.
I know, but still, I don't know. It just at a certain age.
I have the same. I'm getting there now because I have the same kind of problem. Rosie's 8 now. I'll send her into the disabled toilet though because that's on its own.
Yeah. Or you do that. But here's the thing. Or what you do is like, and again, I'm not saying women can't be pervs, but a lot of times, like I've seen where they're like, hey, you'll see a woman go into the woman's bathroom, and then you send the 10-year-old, okay, now go in, right? Because at least there's a woman in there, right?
Yeah.
Well, I'm not saying, Gary, I'm not saying it doesn't matter how low the odds. What I'm saying is perverts are going to pervert regardless, right? So,
yeah,
you're like, oh, I don't want that one pervy dude to go into a woman's bathroom. Well, guess what? You could send your daughter to the bathroom and that pervy dude could be waiting and knows no one else is in there, walk in there, lock the door, and do God knows what, right? Before anyone's even realized it.
We're just going to have to go to freaking single bathrooms is what it's going to have to be. That's the only solution.
Well, that's what they will have to do if they really want to go down this route of having multiple genders.
Well, they're already doing it because
they're already doing it. You're going to have to start in America really.
This is one of those. This is literally like abortion. Like there will always be two opposing sides, and then there'll be people like me that are just kind of in the middle. Like I don't give a fuck about any of this. I care about the economy and the strength of our nation and keeping our borders secure. I don't give a fuck about.
But these sort of things. Abortion is a thing that I can see both sides of the argument.
Yeah, I can too. I can't do. That's my thing. I don't have a horse in the race. I can literally see both sides of them, and I don't care because I think these are the things. These issues are the things that keep us divided instead of getting us together and working together and eliminating people in the government that are just crap that are only there for themselves and benefiting themselves or their party. And we talk about all these dumbass issues, which I know they're important to some people, but really what's important to me is I want to be able to make the most money I can and pay the least amount of taxes I can so that I can do the best for my family and be secure and be safe. That's the things that are important. But yet we dance around on all these other stupid issues and nobody's ever going to agree. Nobody will ever agree. We'll never get to a point where there's agreed. There's just more and more people are digging into the sand, and we'll never move forward. It's just there'll be more crap, more issues like this.
Okay, all right. Real quick to get us back on track. Okay. So the tweet was from 2016. Okay. Agree with the tweet, disagree with the tweet. Kara Lynn only started working for limited run games 2 years ago. So the tweet was not made during her tenure at limited run games, right?
Right.
Yeah.
And so I think in that context, right, she could have made this tweet between then and now, changed her mind, maybe forgot she made the tweet, whatever. But unless you have a tweet in the 2 years that she worked for limited run games, I think that they shouldn't have fired her. I don't think they should be able to fire her because, again, that's like going, hey, remember when you were 12 and you got into that fight and you called that dude a slur? We're going to fire you from your job. You're like, what?
Well, Disney did exactly that to James Gunn.
No, but it was the same thing. But it was pressure from the Twitter model.
Yeah, it was the same thing. Pressure from outside. And it was somebody that went digging for it, like this one, like this person has done. I don't
Perverts
know.
are going to pervert. Are we still talking about Tommy Tallarico? Oof.
I don't know if she should go back and James Gunn went back and deleted his, right? Because obviously he doesn't really think that stuff. That's just stuff he said at a very silly time in his life. This woman may still feel the way she felt back then, but just doesn't say it now that she's not working for this company. It's not a fight that a man can have. It's a women's fight, if you know what I mean. You can't tell a woman that she shouldn't think like that because it affects her.
I don't think you should tell anyone they can't think like that. Right?
There are certain things you shouldn't say, but I don't see these as transphobic. These comments are not transphobic to me.
We've reached a point in this country where if you are more on the right, if you're more of a conservative, it has become acceptable to discriminate against you. It has become acceptable to discriminate against white, straight men. And it's
in America, of course
it's the way that it fucking is. And I hate it. And I don't know how we move beyond this. I think part of the problem is that most straight white men are just kind of laid back and chill, and we're just like we don't fucking care. We're just gonna keep doing. We're not gonna be there fighting in the streets like all these other people have to get over it. It's just like we're just accepting it, and it's like I don't give a shit, man. Like I just
real quick. Let me interrupt the straight white man as a POC is now talking.
Yeah, everyone shh.
POS.
Oh.
I'm kidding, Tony. I love you.
Beefy says, I don't think you fire her. I think you, as the employer, talk to her. Crap and opinions can change. Yeah, exactly. No one even asked if she still thinks like that, right?
It doesn't matter because they could look and say, well, look at her. She's following Glenn Beck. So obviously she still thinks that way. And that's what I'm saying.
That's what they did. That's what they did.
It is okay to discriminate against somebody that has a position on the right or that doesn't. Like you can sit here, it's okay to shit on Christianity. It's okay to shit on all these things that are traditional American things. You can just do America. You can shit on all that all day long. No one's going to say a word. And it's just, I don't know, man. It's unfortunate. I don't see how the fuck we move beyond this at this point.
I don't think it's like being associated with the KKK, Gary. I think that is simple. You just shouldn't be associated with him.
Well, what he's saying, wait. No. There's a second comment. I was waiting for Days to stop so I could read this. He says, it's difficult. It's like being associated with the KKK. It's not that simple. People aren't going to give you a pass because it's years later. This is 100% untrue. And I'll tell you why. Because there's a man, a black man, Daryl, I always blank on his last name. But he actually sat down and talked with KKK members. And he got them to change.
Yeah, I saw that.
And so I'm assuming that these people, Daryl Davis, right? He sat down, he got like over 100 KKK members to convert and be, I don't know, convert is the right word. Basically go, hey, you know what? Our racism is dumb. What are we doing? Right? We shouldn't hate people based on skin color.
That is why. Sorry, go ahead.
As I say, so we can't really hold people's past against them in that way. We got to go. Hey, are you still like this? Now there's an issue and we can discuss it, right? But if you're like, oh, that was, I don't believe like that no more. I forgot that I even tweeted that. Let me get rid of that, right? That's not me.
That is what is so dangerous right now. Is that the people are refusing to sit down and talk to each other. If people will sit down that are on opposite sides of these things and just have a conversation and work this thing out and try to find a common middle ground, but everybody just wants to stand on their other side and talk shit like on Twitter and all these things. And a lot of this problem that has been brought to, a lot of it is Twitter and all that, but a lot of this too is like it all began with news. A lot of these news channels really began to quit focusing on news. They wanted the ratings. They wanted the drama. Look at when you talk about Amico, look at how many fucking views you get because of all the drama and shit. It's like these mainstream media, like all of them, every single one of them are terrible. Fox News included. I think they are just as bad. They only cover certain sides of the
Yeah,
story.
they've all got agendas. They've all hitched their.
Like I saw a tweet today because like the with the new House Speaker, they're passing a bill. They were going to get rid of the 87,000 IRS agents. And you look at CNN, you go to look at CNN, CNN says Republicans are going to cut 87,000 jobs. Like they're trying to get rid of the IRS agents because the thought is that they're going to send all these IRS agents to start targeting normal citizens who are making money like on Facebook and all these other things. Like they're trying to come after people. Like I think that's a good thing. I mean, I think less government, less taxes is good. But to think like that, to think, oh look, they're cutting jobs to try to, the people that watch CNN will be like, oh yeah, that's fucked up, like, oh my God, they're so bad. Instead of us all just coming down and having a conversation, but it's never going to happen.
Yeah,
because
real
we
quick.
Squabble over bullshit.
I'm gonna have to mute the white man if he keeps talking over me. POC. One Inch Bicep says, I think we got to realize people make mistakes. We're not perfect. Just like he's not perfect because he put we're instead of we are or we're with the apostrophe. You got to use an apostrophe, folks.
Fucking hell.
Tommy made a few mistakes. We can all find it in our hearts to forgive him for ripping everybody off. We could. But here's the thing, right? It's not just, oh, this person made mistakes, forgive them. No, forgiveness has to be asked, right? And then it has to be given. You got to make restitution. You have to realize what you did, admit your mistakes, own up to the things that you've done. That's how we move on, and that's how we go.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But you don't get that opportunity. You're just fired because hey, I've changed. I don't feel that way like I did. I'm understanding it a little bit more now. Or hey, let's have a conversation about it. Maybe I don't exactly agree with you, but here's the thing. If you're going to work with this company, please don't put going forward. I would like for you to keep politics out of it.
Yeah. There's people that wake up in the morning. There's people that get out of bed in the morning and they're so angry at the world that they just think, whose life can I ruin today?
They're Karens.
All right. Wiley, what's up, Wiley? How's it going? Gary says he's perfect and he can forgive us all for liking Elden Ring. Thank you, Gary.
Forgive you for not
I don't like Elden Ring either, Gary, so I'm there with you.
I don't like Elden Ring. I love it. All right. Well, it's that time where we have to take a look at the weekly polls. Yeah, the big polls. We actually had a very eventful week this week. Some people, actually, before we get to the poll, some people were taking issue with my list of games that I beat. One of them was on stream with us last night.
Sweaty
Jetty. Noah Jetty. Man, after you left Days, it got a little crazy. We had Evil. He popped in, and he was drunk, going over the top. Jetty was over the top. Jetty's wife is yelling in the background to stop yelling because the kid's asleep.
Yeah, he was a little bit inebriated when I was still on there, so I can imagine it only got worse.
All right. So, first off, they said if you didn't beat the game 100%, you can't say that you beat it. He said you can say that you've completed the story, but you didn't beat the game. I think it'd be the opposite. I think that you can say you beat it.
Completed, yeah, is 100%. Beat is finished it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I did not. I 100%ed Arkham Asylum. I have not 100%ed Arkham City or Arkham Knight, but I did beat them. I beat the main story. And again, I say the main story, right? Because no, I didn't beat every single piece of DLC content, right? I don't think that counts. Also, I think that if you beat the game once, if the game has multiple endings, I think you only need to beat it once.
Would you count DLC content as a separate game? Or not?
No, I wouldn't count it as a separate game. But
you don't need to beat the DLC content to say you've beat the game.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with that. Because DLC content can come years later.
Yeah, I guess it depends, right? If the DLC content is long enough, that it's like, okay, let's say it's like 5 hours of DLC content, right? Then I would say yeah, but not 5 hours worth of a bunch of DLC content, right? Like say there's like 20 DLC missions that are not connected in any way but add up to 5 hours, I wouldn't count that. But if it's one DLC mission that's a 5-hour mission, I might count that half a point. Because I mean, there are games that are like 5 hours long, right?
Yeah.
Like an expansion, I think an expansion is considered its own separate thing, right?
It boils down to how big of a nerd you are. Like, what do you consider like?
Well, this is a nerd
beating a
channel,
game?
so.
Well, I know that's what I'm saying. Like, how big of like we're nerds, but it's how big of a nerd are you? Like, you
Pretty fucking big.
you didn't beat that. You didn't beat that game because you didn't get all that secret coins. You know, like no, I beat the boss. I saw the end credits. That's beat. You know, like if I have the time, I will go back and maybe if I really like the game, yeah, I might do the.
That's a good indicator of whether you beat the game or not. If you've seen the end credits roll.
Yeah, that's how I've always figured. But then it's like you might maybe I want to go back and I want to play some of these side missions and try some different things, and maybe there's a better ending.
Yeah.
Like I don't even consider getting it'd be like playing the original Metroid. Like, do you have to beat it a certain amount of time where you literally get the Zero Suit Samus? You haven't beaten it unless you see that. No. You know, you beat Mother Brain and then you see the credits and you freaking win.
Tommy Got Triggered says, what about a game like Octopath Traveler where you beat the game, then there is another end game? I think that you would have to beat the end game. If you play a game, like I'll give you an example, Zelda, Legend of Zelda, right? You could beat Ganon, and I think that's it. I don't think you need to beat the second quest in Zelda to be considered. Now, a game where you beat it, and then there's like, oh, there's actually like another mission. You know, you thought that was the end of the game, but there's really like another mission. Then I think you would have to beat that other mission to be considered.
That's like in oh god, what is that really hard NES game with the? I can't think of the name of it right now.
Really hard NES game. That's like half.
Yeah, I know. Well,
you know how little you've narrowed that down.
You go through and you beat it, and then it's like, oh, this was an illusion. You got to go back and beat it again.
No, I wouldn't count that. Ghouls and Ghosts.
Yes, Ghouls and Ghosts. Ghosts and Goblins. Ghosts and Goblins.
Is that how it ends? It sends you back to the start to do it.
Yeah,
again?
you have to beat it twice.
You have to beat it fucking twice, and it gets harder the second time through.
I count that as like a second, like a Zelda.
Well, no, because it does say though. It's like it does. I would consider that you do have to go through and beat it because the first time it's like, nah, you didn't fucking beat it yet because you have to go back through it again, and it's harder.
Well, that's
but then you get the true ending because you don't get an ending. You don't get an ending when you beat it the first round. You just get sent back to the front, so you don't see the credits. That's a case where you do have to replay it again.
I guess because there's no credits, I will concede that
because you literally just get sent back to the beginning, like you dumbass, do it again.
Compulsive gamer, Gary says, "Nah, credits roll equals I win."
Yeah,
exactly. I don't have time. I don't have time to do all that.
Turn it off as the credits are rolling.
Yeah.
Exactly. But I think like a game, like on this list, I played Biomutant. Okay, in Biomutant, you could recruit different people to go on the spaceship at the end, right? I don't think I need to play it because there's like 20 people you could recruit, but you can only take 6 of them on the ship. So I don't think I need to play it like 4 different times, recruiting 4 different sets of people just to get a slightly different. Well, Bill went to and did this versus Tom went and did this, right? Like, I don't think I should have to do that. If the entire game is essentially the same, but there's like a small minor change, like in Mass Effect, where the different endings were literally just different colors of light because of your alignment or whatever, I don't think you would have to beat it multiple times. That's just my opinion.
That's what I'm saying. It's just how big of a nerd. What's your level of nerdiness? Like, are you gonna say, "Nah, you didn't beat that, dude. You got to go back and do all these other things,"
right.
Or you're just like, "No, I did beat it." It's another one of those things that people won't agree.
But you're saying on this list, when you beat the Street Fighter games, you did it with every character, right?
Okay, we're getting to that. That was the next thing. we're gonna get to. Okay, so Injustice: Gods Among Us has a story mode. Okay. Now, I beat the story mode, and I also got all the arcade endings for all the characters. But would you think that like a game like that, where it's a fighting game that has a separate story mode, but also arcade endings for the characters, would you have to beat just the story mode, just the arcade endings, or both? Consider beating the game.
No, I would say to beat that game, you have to see all the endings for all the characters.
But the story mode has its own ending too.
But all the endings are different, right? And I know we're going back into the old, like, oh, you got to beat it 10 times to get all the different endings but that's for one character.
Yeah. All the character endings are different, but you don't play them in story mode. It's literally like you play one character, then the story dictates you play another character, then another one, until you play the story of the game.
Whereas fuck it, I'll change my criteria. You can beat it one time with one character, as long as you see the credits roll.
Did the credits roll? Yeah. I think in this instance, if each individual character has a little ending for beating arcade mode, because it's not going to take that long, right? I think that you have to beat the story mode and the arcade endings, as long as there are individual endings for each character, even if it's.
I agree. I agree
Fighter,
on you on that one, Tony.
With games like Street Fighter and Mortal Kombat and Injustice, I think it's more a case of you want to see all the endings.
Yeah, but I think in order to consider you beat it, like sure you beat it with Ken, or sure you beat it with Scorpion, but you didn't beat the game because the game has all those. It's all part of the game, right? Because
like
it is wildly different. Scorpion's ending is a lot different than Kano's and Sonya's, and the story is like its own separate thing. So I think you have to beat all of that.
Fighting games are so different from something else, that you just put on and you have to get from the beginning to the end, like by going through the missions. You're just fighting people, so it's a different thing. But I agree. I do think that you should, if you're going to beat it, you should beat it with all the characters.
It's like sports games as well, like FIFA or whatever. How do you finish that? You just
well, you could go. The only way I could think that you could finish a sports game would be like they do have season modes. Like if you went through and played like a season of football and you went through and won the World Series, Super Bowl, I would consider that beating a sports game.
Well, some sports games, like I know the NBA games have like a story mode.
Yeah,
they do.
You're building up your player to like and there's stats and there's like different.
Yeah, that's a newer thing. Yeah, that they've been doing.
But that in itself is only a tiny part of those games.
Yeah, Wiley says, "What if you're unable to beat games on difficult games?" I think it means on difficulties, like higher difficulty. I don't think. Okay, I think that you should play a game on the developer's preferred setting, whether that's medium, hard, easy, whatever it is that they're like, this is, where the game is meant to be played. You should at least try. If the game is too hard, then go ahead, drop it down in difficulty.
Mm-hmm.
Because a lot of games, like the old school, if you beat a game on easy, it'd be like, you just beat the game on easy. You baby, go back and play it on normal, like a regular person.
Yeah.
But nowadays, it's just like...
You used to get insulted if you completed it on easy mode.
Yeah. Nowadays, they're like, oh, you beat the game on God mode? Great. Awesome. Here's the ending. What's up, Gary?
Hi, Gary.
Hello.
Gary.
You want to chime in on what it takes to beat a game? We're not going back,
Credits
Gary.
roll. Credit roll. That's it. Credit roll. That's it.
Okay.
That's what I think.
What if the game doesn't have credits?
What game doesn't have credits?
Your face.
Shh.
Yeah, your face.
The congratulations screen.
Yeah.
That is a great game. I mean, I really can't think of many games that don't have a credit roll. I mean, as long as you get a credit roll or some acknowledgement that you've passed it, I think the Ghosts and Goblins or Ghouls and Ghosts, whatever the fuck that game's called, that's a good example of a game that clearly you have to beat it twice to actually beat the game. So I mean that scenario doesn't happen very often, but as long as you're seeing like the credits roll, if you're playing a game like old Fallout 3 that had a bunch of endings and all these multiple ending games, I mean, As long as you're beating it, you're getting a ending. You're not like 100% completing the game. It doesn't, there's a lot of different categories nowadays.
I think beat the game, just like you said, credits roll, you finish the main campaign. If you want to go back and complete it 100%, that's, your prerogative. Also, Joshua Perez wanted to know, can pre-NES console games be beaten? There are some.
Yeah, they can be beaten.
There's a few of them. I mean, a lot of them are like Pong, or technically Pac-Man can be beaten, right? Like technically.
Well, didn't
E.T.
have like a
E.T. could
legit
be
ending,
beaten
even though people didn't know how to play it right?
Yeah.
E.T. I've beaten E.T. I've beaten Indiana Jones on the Atari.
Also, Wiley says Gary Jr. is here. Your face. Lamau, Gary Jr. is great. We all love Gary Jr. I call him Little Gary. But yeah, so I beat 53 games. Here is my challenge to everyone here watching, everyone who's going to watch the replay, everyone who's going to tell people that they watch this. Besides smashing the like button because you've been here so long, the panelists, I challenge you to beat 52 games. I beat 53 myself, but only 52 games. It's one game a week.
Yeah, I'm out.
Beat
All right,
one game
12.
a week, huh?
How about this? 12 games.
Hold on. If I take this challenge, let's say I record the games or however I do it to legitimize that I'm beating these games, can they be games I've already beaten? Can they be old games? Or does that not count? Is that not fair?
I beat these.
Yeah, I think everything you've beaten throughout your entire life counts.
No, he's talking about beating it over again.
Beating it over. So if I there's going to be games that I'm going to push myself to beat, and I could clearly I got over 1,000 games. I can pick games that they're in the back catalog I haven't played. But I will be honest, most games every game in my collection I've played. Even if it goes into the back catalog and I haven't played beaten the game, there are chances that when I picked the game up originally, I've probably already put an hour or a couple hours, because I always do that. I don't just
I will say
put
this,
stuff
Gary.
right into the back catalog.
The challenge is to beat 52 new games. When I say new, that means games you've not beaten yet.
And they can't
you could have played them, right? You could have played them and got 50% into the game and then stopped for whatever reason and then pick it back up. That's fine. I think that counts. But you've beaten a game already. It's going to be a lot. What's up?
If I beat Miss Pac-Man, does that count as beating 52 games?
No.
You got to get to the kill screen.
That counts as one game, Gary, not 52. It counts as one. So there it is.
I can't even imagine if I'm going to beat 52 more new games for the rest of my life.
So there's the challenge for everyone in the chat. If you want to be a real gamer, 52 games this year. If you want to be just a regular,
what? 52 games this year?
Now see, this is
that's one game a week.
That's exactly
one game a week.
One game a week.
You
and we're already 7 days in, so you're already behind the 8 ball.
I could go beat Super Mario Bros. Oh no, it's got to be new games. Damn it!
New experiences. Have 52 new game experiences this year. How do I prove it? We're going to work on the honor system. I trust each and every one of you.
I'll be lucky if I beat
that's a mistake.
One this year.
No, it's not, because
hold on. Okay.
Who are you cheating? It's not like I'm like whoever does it gets $1 million. It's just like at the end of it, you're just going to cheat yourself.
If I beat an NES game on
I don't care what hardware you use.
Count?
You use whatever hardware.
So it counts. So
any hardware you want.
Any game of any type
that you've never played before.
Yeah, as long as you haven't played it,
or that you haven't beaten it yet.
Beaten
it, not played, but beaten.
Okay.
No, Ninja Kitty, 51 Clubhouse games does not count as 51 titles. I don't even think you can beat
Action 52. Go beat that. You can do that in one game. 52 fucking games in there. You can't get to the end. You can't get past certain levels in that game.
So here it is.
No, that's got the original Cheetah Man in it that's broken, isn't it?
You can't get past certain levels. I think Ooze is another one of the games that you can't get past the third level or something.
Waylon, tell him to quiet down, Waylon. All right, so here it is.
I gotta go. Hold on, I gotta mute. I gotta beat him.
All right, beat him. All right, so here it is. 52 games that you haven't beaten before. You could play it on any hardware you want. You can use save states if you're playing it on not original hardware. You could use save states because I know like the Nintendo Switch Online has save states. It has the rewind function, but you cannot beat them on like God mode, right? You can't just go to emulation, put it on God mode, and then like level select and go to the end. Like, look, I went to the credits.
Cheats.
You're counting save. You're going to count save states as a beat.
No, I would. No, I
Yeah.
wouldn't. If I were to play,
Dude, I could beat
legitimately,
like a 52 games in a week. Then if I'm using save states,
I think that's wrong. I was just joking when I said it. I think if you were to use save states and you're playing through a game like Battletoads
That
or something like
doesn't
that, that's not fair. No, yeah, because if you get like to the last thing and you did really good, and you get to like the water level, which is like notorious for being cheap and hard, and then you save.
Yeah, but
there
what
and
about
you
games
played
that don't really
1,000
have save spots? Like modern, like I could
that's
play
the
a
way
game.
it was.
that's the way it was made, baby.
That's
But
the
if
way
I'm
it was
playing-
made, right?
If I'm
Yeah,
playing, say,
play what it
Pac-Man,
is.
if I'm playing Pac-Man on my PS5, I can pause the game, put it in rest mode, and then come back later. Whereas you can't do that.
No, that
Right?
here's the problem.
It's essentially
though.
a save
Technically,
state.
It's not really though, is it, Tony?
It's a
It
rest.
is and it is. Here's the thing. It is and it isn't. I get what he's saying. Like,
It's not a redo though. You're just picking up.
It's a
because here's the
rest.
thing. Like, if you were to go for a record or something on that, I don't think you could technically do that. I don't think that's like allowable. It'd have to be in the same session that you beat the game, but then some games aren't beaten in the same session. So like retro games got to be handled differently with like newer games.
All right, we'll take
I
a
don't
vote.
know.
There's four of us here. Are we saying save states? Yes or no? I say yes.
No, I would say no. I would say no.
Save states, yes.
Save states.
No,
if you
sorry,
do-
not save states. What you talked about, Tony, putting it in rest mode and picking up where you
It's
left
fine.
off. Yes.
That's
Save
fine.
states, no.
That's fine.
'Cause that's
Save
a
states
redo.
are save states are. I can beat really
So-
hard games with save states.
So you're saying no? So it's 3 against 1, no save states?
Yep.
All right, no save states, guys. You got to beat the game. It has to be a new experience that you haven't beaten before. Doesn't matter the hardware. No save states. 52 honor system, but keep track. Let us know. You could put it on Twitter, and you could at me on Twitter, or in the comments, be like, hey, here's the next game I beat, or whatever. Or I'll put a weekly
Or
thing up.
Here's
Like, what have
here's
you
the
beaten
proof.
this week?
Here's how you do the proof. Just take a picture of the end screen with your cell phone.
Oh my
People are
god!
worried about proof.
Well, I'm not worried about
Doesn't
proof. I was just
work.
talking about keeping track, so we all could be like, "Oh, look at all the games I've beaten so far." So you can't just like at the last day just start making up games, right?
No.
Oh, I beat that super Billy Jones game.
Yeah, no, demos don't count. Demos, time trials,
Excuse me. No,
mini games,
it's not gonna work.
only full games. Only full
Gary's
games.
going to go
I
and
think
beat
I
his
beat-
first game. Fatherhood.
I beat I can't even count how many I beat last year, but I beat a handful. I know I beat for sure like Turtles, Shovel Knight Dig. Fuck, my list is very small. I play so many games, I just never beat.
It's 'cause
the
you're
damn
white.
thing.
Yeah,
All right, so there it is.
that's what I
15
do. I play a lot of games, but I don't necessarily beat them all.
52 games. This is going to drive you to beat games. A lot of these games I wouldn't have beat. I'll be honest with you. If I wasn't keeping track, I would have just dropped them. So 52 games. There it is. There are a lot of games you could actually beat in like 6 hours, 8 hours. Modern games.
Yeah.
So that's my challenge. 52 games to be a real gamer. 12 games and you're just a regular gamer. Because that's one game a month. You should be able to do one game a month.
So if I didn't beat these games, and since I have like over 1,000 games and I collect a lot of games, does that make me a fake gamer because I don't beat games?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty much. But
Same as
that's
me.
cool. I'm a fake gamer too.
Yeah,
I
so
guess.
Brad says, does DVD games count? No. No VHS games.
Captain Power?
No Captain Power. None of that.
Was that called Captain Power? I can't remember what that was called.
You could play. I don't care if they're visual novels, FMV games. Point and
Wait,
click
you would count a
adventures.
visual novel? No, you would count a visual novel as a game that you've beaten.
Yeah, you got to sit there and watch
Yeah.
it. They're not
Dude,
like
I
10
tried-
minutes
That
experience.
counts. That counts.
Finbar. Night Trap is one of my all-time favorite fucking
He
games.
said visual
It's got
novel.
what you
Night
do
Trap's
as-
not a visual
Night
novel,
Trap's
Gary.
not a visual novel.
Not
right?
FM. Not
Yeah, but
FM.
Night Trap's-
Not
So, but what I'm
FMV.
saying is, Night Trap's not much of a game. So if a visual novel game is
Oh,
a
true.
game, it's a
true.
game. If you
But-
play it, it's a game. So I'm
Gary,
saying
but
Night Trap
Gary,
is not much of just pushing a few buttons.
yeah, but Gary, Night Trap, you can die.
You could die in visual novels.
You're not talking about
Oh.
a visual novel, then you're talking
No,
about
not visual
hybrid.
novels.
Yeah,
No,
he's
they're-
just going through.
They're called visual novels, but there's some that like if you like where they're like, hey, do you want to go here, or there? They're like, it's almost like
I
choose
would-
your own adventure games. They're not called. They're called visual novels still.
Well,
But there's some
here-
visual
here's-
novels that are just press A, press A, press A,
Well,
press
right.
A.
And here's what Finbar's talking about. I would say if you're getting through it and you're seeing the credits and you're reading it, because some people can't even read through regular books. If you're getting through it, you're reading it, you're seeing credits, then yes, you beat it. Even
I mean,
it's
if you
as
want to
simple
sit
as
there
just-
for 7 hours
Yeah, if you want to
Hitting
waste
A?
your time
just to say you beat a visual novel, then knock
52
your socks off.
times.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, that's where some people get their entertainment reading from. I mean, there are a lot of people who buy, like whatever it is, like the visual novel type games.
It's like playing a dating sim or a farming game or something like that, right? Like it's not exactly action packed, but if you want to sit there and go through 10 years of the game to say that you've planted the most corn and now your farm is awesome, then knock your socks off.
But those are the ones as well that you wouldn't be able to beat because they don't really end with a credit screen.
No, they have credit screens.
The farming ones and stuff
Yeah,
like that.
they have credit screens, and then
I'm gonna-
afterward they're like you could just keep playing.
I'm just going to play a bunch of children's games.
Whatever. Again, if
Well, I
that's
got
what
the
you
old-
want to spend your time doing,
So I got the old lady Stardew Valley for Switch for Christmas and stuff. Is that game beatable?
yeah, you have a
It is?
3-year time limit to get your farm up to
Oh,
snuff.
okay.
And then your grandpa's like, yes, you did it. You've saved the farm. And then it just lets you keep playing after that.
Days,
Keep
you're
playing
gonna
after, right.
Days, you're gonna get to child's game number 36 and think, what the fuck am I doing, man?
No, you're gonna get to number 2 if you're gonna be like, what the hell is this? And some of them are hard. You're like, oh yeah, I'm gonna play Ryan's racing game, and you're like, oh my god, it's so janky and hard.
So here's the thing: if I put up like some stellar games like Battletoads and do we get like more credit
No,
for
there's no
like?
credit. It's just 52 games. That's it. I don't care what you beat. Again, the challenge is to beat 52 games.
Yeah, but hold on. If I beat games
No.
like Battletoads,
No,
wouldn't that make
I don't
me
care.
more of a
No.
gamer than the
no,
regular?
I just said no.
Yes.
I don't know how many times I gotta say no. It just makes you a different kind of gamer. That's like saying if I play a bunch of RPGs that are like
more
80 hours
skillful,
long, you're like, does that make me a better
No,
gamer?
that just
than
means
you?
that just means you got time. I'm
Right.
talking about
Exactly.
skill-based games here.
Well, fighting games are a lot harder than some of your Battletoads. I mean, some of them bosses in like King of Fighters is like almost impossible to beat.
No.
Yeah,
Battletoads
yeah.
is hard across. No, Battletoads is across the board. Hard across.
Doesn't
the
matter.
board.
If a game is
Being a
easy
fighter,
until
learning-
the end, if a game is easy until the end and then it's impossible, I would prefer
it's not-
a game that's
no,
hard consistently
No, it's
and beatable.
hard. The whole game is consistently
Right.
hard.
That's what I just said. Listen to what I said, Gary. I would prefer a game that's consistently hard but beatable versus a game that's easy but then impossible.
No,
at the
but
end.
what I'm saying is we're talking about fighters though. Fighters, you
Right.
don't, like,
King of Fighters again is very easy until you get to the boss, and then it's damn near
Right,
impossible
yeah,
because
true,
of the
right.
AI.
right. It's the same thing with Marvel vs. Capcom 3.
Yeah.
Like everybody was pretty much easy until that's every fighting game.
So there it is. 52 games. That's the challenge.
I'm
Stop
googling right
arguing.
now.
Start playing.
I'm googling right now the easiest
I
games
already
to
beat
beat
a
on the
game.
NES.
I just beat a Playdate game. Does that count?
How long was it?
Not in,
What was it? I don't know what it was. When did
Not
you
in
beat
Ninja
it?
Kitty's eyes, it doesn't, Gary. Ninja Kitty says no Playdate games because they're just tech demos.
Yeah, tech demos don't count. So
No tech demos. That's BS.
no, you can't. You can't beat games you've already beaten.
Nope. I'm googling right now the easiest games to
What if-
beat on
okay.
the NES.
Hold on, Tony. What if last year we put in there's some games I haven't beaten, but I'm close to beating them.
No,
What
those
if I
count.
beat them now?
They
Do they? Okay.
they count. You just
Okay.
have to beat them in this
Gotcha.
year.
All right. You guys
And
know that.
this will drive everybody who's into this challenge to go, hey, I almost finished that game. I gave up on it, but fuck it. I'm going to go back now and put in the last 3 hours, the last 5 hours, 10 hours, whatever it is, to push myself to beat it. Again,
I'm
that's
going to put up like 500 games.
That's what happened to me. I had to push myself. Some of these games I started, yeah. Like Warriors Orochi, I actually got all the way to like the last, act, like Act 7, and I just stopped playing it. And I'm
I
like,
do that.
why? Why would I do that? So then I went back and finished it. So there it is. 52 games this year. Let's see if you guys can do it. I'm going for it. I know I'm gonna blow past it.
Tony, what was the best game that you beat? Like, what was your favorite game that you beat last year? Now, it might not have had to been like the best game that you played, but what was your favorite game that you beat last year?
Hades, hands down. I love Hades.
Hades is a good game.
And you know what? I just picked up another game from Super Transistor, from Super Giant Games.
Oh, it's Transistor. I told you about that one.
Yeah, it's on sale for like $3.99.
And you've played Bastion, right? It was Bob who hadn't played Bastion.
I've never played
Bastion. Was so good. That one is a pickup too.
But that one's like $15.99.
Yeah, I heard good things about Transistor. Haven't played that, but I can recommend Bastion. That's another game that I haven't fucking beaten. I got like 80% of the way through and didn't beat. But from what I played, I played a good chunk of the damn game. It's good. Super Giant's awesome.
We need receipts because someone will cheat.
Wiley's
we don't cheat. We don't cheat.
Wiley's laughing at Street Fighter 1. It's a game, man.
That's hard. Have you ever tried to play
Street Fighter 1?
It's
hard as fuck, man.
It's hard.
Street Fighter 1's nails.
Oh, you talking about the original arcade Street Fighter?
Yeah, the first one where you can only play Ryu or Ken.
Yes, that game's
fucking hard.
It is hard, and it's not very responsive. Like when
you
try to do the fireballs or whatever.
Yes,
like,
I played it once at a Walmart back in the day, maybe like '94. I had no idea that was connected to like Street Fighter till years later, but I remember that game being so janky.
Dude, it legitimately took me 5 hours to beat the first Street Fighter because it was so janky.
Yeah, the only reason it's on that collection is for completion.
Yeah, and not only that, but the bosses or the opponent, not even bosses because everyone's an opponent. Like the opponents hit so fucking hard. It's like getting hit by a freight train. Literally, they hit you like 5 times. It's like, do, you're dead. Like
they certainly had not perfected it by then.
Yeah.
Well, no, I don't know if it was purposely like that because you got to remember it was like I said, I played it as an arcade game, and I'll be honest when I'll tell you I put that quarter in so fucking that quarter was eaten up so fast after playing just a couple seconds of that game. It's definitely janky. It's a quarter muncher.
It says, you have a Steam Deck, just buy it on PC. Yeah, that's true. I like the sound effects in Street Fighter 1. They're so janky.
Have you guys seen that video yet? How the Nintendo Switch is better than the Steam Deck?
No. I don't think anyone's ever made that video. Unless it's an April 1st video.
No, that video just was made like
by who?
A couple weeks ago. Hold on, let me look it up. Let me see if I can find it.
Is it by Gary?
No.
All right. Now that that's out of the way, 52 games. Let's see who can do it, who can rise to the challenge. And yes, we're calling you out. What the hell is his name? CM Retro. Talking about, what was it, 5 games? You got to beat 5 games to be a real gamer or something like that?
Was it 5? Was it only 5?
I don't know. How many? I know.
I can't remember. I thought it was more than 5.
The only requirements for me that you have to be a real gamer is that you actually collect the games and play them, and you don't keep them.
Why do you have to collect them?
Plastic.
Why do you have to? Can't you just play them?
Okay, no, you don't. You don't have to be fair. You don't have to collect them. But what my point is that you're not. Fake gamer is like these guys that got into it for the money now. These guys going into it for the speculative investment. Yes. I'm kind of a shelf collector, but I'm not. I'm just getting older, losing my time, and a lot of stuff I just can't get to that I wish I could. But I do play. Like I said, when I get these games, I make a note. Like I put them in and I play them for an hour, 2 hours. That way, it was like, okay, I bought this game. I at least put some time into it. You can't say that like, oh, it's just been sitting on a shelf. No, I'll get to it, but I'll put at least an hour or so into it.
What the hell was it that CM Retro said? I'm at his video.
I'm gonna find it. I'm gonna find it for you now. 10 games.
10 games? Okay.
Yeah.
So
10 games.
He
That's
said
massive.
5 to 10. He said 5 to 10, but when he says
yeah, I
that,
knew
he
there was a
means
5 in there. So forget your 5 to 10, CM Retro. 52. Let's see if you're a real gamer. 52 games.
He says if you only played 4 games, but they were 300-hour RPGs, he'll give you a pass.
No, I'm not giving anyone a pass. No passes. 52. All of these.
And he said if you play Minecraft all year, you're not a gamer.
I agree.
Sorry, Waylon, you're screwed.
All right, so here we
You
go.
play Minecraft all year.
We're gonna now get into the polls. The first poll was about how many games did you beat in 2022. 74% of you guys, which is almost 74 people, because we had 93 votes, said you beat less than 10 games. Sad.
I'm probably in that.
I'm definitely that. Yeah. I beat a couple, but not
13% said
52.
less than 20. 5% said less than 30. 1% said less than 40. And 6%, I'm very proud of you, said more than 40. But I don't think anyone actually put their numbers in the comments.
I don't think anybody was trying.
Let's see. Bellstar says 2022 has been a very disappointing year for gaming for me personally. I was busy with other things, and most of the games I've been playing are multiplayer games with no endings. Pika Shade says I was able to do videos on about 20 games last year, and naturally had to beat them to get all the needed footage for them. And Evil says I streamed an insanely amount of hours, so I guess more than 490. No, Evil. We don't go by hours. We go by games.
Games here.
Mhm.
Oh, I beat Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. No, I didn't beat that either. Well,
Remember,
how would you
last year
consider
games
that you
don't
beat
count.
Mario Kart?
Last year games don't count. This year only.
Well, that's what I'm saying. What I beat last year.
What does it count for Mario Kart?
When you beat a cup.
You got to beat all the cups.
Okay. Oh, I beat them right? Just win.
Yeah, well,
first
because
place.
there's
You don't
not
have
a
to have
different
the fucking
ending.
3 gold stars.
You just got to beat. You got to, I guess, place in at least third, right? In the last cup.
Yeah. I guess that's all you have to do. Yeah.
So
just get a
third
cup.
place. All right. It says, "Did you make a New Year's resolution? If you answer yes, comment what they are below." 34% said yes out of the 56 votes. 66% said no. They don't make New Year's resolutions. Did you guys make New Year's resolutions?
I guess we all are right now. We're going to beat 52 games.
Playing pirated games count. I don't care where you got the games from, as long as
A game is a game.
As long as it's complete. It's not a tech demo. It's the complete game.
Nintendo cares.
and it can't be a pirated, like it can't be a modded version of the game, right? I mean, I guess it could be a translated version, yes, but it can't be like, God mode on your pirated
No tool
Mario.
assist.
Yeah. All right. So besides the games you're going to beat this year, any other New Year's resolutions, gentlemen?
Try not to be so fat.
Damn.
I tried that once.
Yeah, we tried.
Myself, I said I'm not going to be so much of a procrastinator. I'm going to go ahead and get things done. Stop putting things off. Work on the channel.
He's going to be a go-getter, folks.
I'm going to go out there and do some stuff. All right. So let's see what the
Oh, okay, go ahead.
I was going to say, let's see what the audience had to say. Wiley says he's going to rage through the night into the morning. Don Giovanni says, I just dumped my girlfriend that's been taking me for granted for years. And frankly, I feel great. It's awesome.
Hell yeah.
Potion Sword said he's going to continue to be fucking awesome.
There you go.
What do you think the Amico Forever guys' New Year's resolution is?
To shill harder.
Shill.
If they shill hard enough, it'll come out, guys. 56K Warning says, 30 minutes a day working out, you'll see gains in 6 months. You don't have to be a gym monkey. He don't want gains. He wants losses. That's the problem. He doesn't want to try to build muscle. He wants to lose weight. Because the problem is if you start working out, right, and you're not eating healthy, you're going to get hungry after you work out and you're going to start eating more.
Yeah.
Well, you just eat healthier.
Yeah. So
there's a method to the madness.
Eat healthy. If you want to lose weight, if you're not looking to gain muscle, you're just looking to lose weight, start by eating healthier.
Just start
Well,
yourself.
I am
That
going to
works.
work out more. I am going to start working out more. I mean, literally, all I have to do is fucking go upstairs to my. I have like a all-in-one machine, and it's literally sitting up in
Why-
my guest bedroom. I don't
Well,
even
That's
use
a
it
coat
enough
rack. That's a clothes rack.
Well,
You just
why
throw
haven't
clothes
you
in it.
done it already, Dazed?
because I'm a lazy piece of shit. All I have to do. It's like it's one. Like that's what I thought. I was like, man, I don't want to get in my car and go to the gym. It's so frustrating. I'll just get this, and it'll be so easy just to walk upstairs and do
That's
it.
what everybody
First
says.
couple of months, I did it, and then it was like.
56K says consistency is key. Muscles will eat them fats. But yeah, but again, you got to combine the two: diet and exercise. If you just do one, you're gonna it's gonna inhibit the other one, right? If you're just dieting and not exercising, then yeah, you'll lose weight, but you're not gonna gain muscle, and you're gonna inhibit that. And if you're just working out and not dieting correctly, and when I say dieting, I don't mean like eating rice cakes. I mean, just instead of having 4 cheeseburgers, maybe have 3.
Eating responsibly.
In one sitting?
Dude, I'm gonna be honest with you guys. Total. I used to just sit down. Like if we went to say Burger King, I would literally eat 2 Whoppers, fries, drink a large Coke, and then
Jesus
probably finish
Christ.
Sidekick Max. Sidekicks. Kids never finish. And then I would finish his burger.
What's your blood pressure at?
It's really low. I have low blood pressure.
Tony, how much weight have you put on since the
5 pounds.
Losing
win?
it.
5 pounds.
5 pounds with all those Latino discounts I see.
Yeah, because I still I work really hard. What I do at work is very physical.
My daughter is convinced you're a liar, Tony.
She's like 6. She's like, that guy's a fucking liar, Dad.
Kids are what do they say? Kids got good
intuition.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
Wiley says he's decided not to compete. That's good. Focus on your grades, Wiley.
There you go, dude.
He also says Days Gaming lives in the castle. He has a butler.
I wish.
You guys are big. Start with body weight exercises. We're not big.
I weigh 225.
Member of the armed forces.
Yeah.
I just need to lose a little bit of belly weight.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. Like, Dave says he's got the all-in-one machine. I got weights in my room. So what I'm doing now is like, if I'm sitting watching a YouTube video, I'm like, well, wait a minute. I could just stand there and lift some weights while I'm watching the YouTube video.
That's what I try to do. I get a video. It's like, all right, I'll go upstairs and work out.
He says knowing when to throw food away is part of dieting. The can't waste food mentality. Well, yeah, it's because I was poor. When you're poor, you never waste food, right?
No, you do. I'm poor. I waste food.
Okay, when you're poor in my family, like my dad would literally be like, whoa, don't throw that chicken away. Let me see. There's scrap. He'd be picking the little pieces of chicken off of the.
Better put some water on that shit.
Yeah. Like, whoa. He throwing that away. Man. All right. Moving on. I asked you guys, this was not really a poll question, but I guess it kind of was. It says, what recently released or upcoming games would you like me to play and or review on the channel?
Pokemon.
Shark. Fuck.
Shark.
Shark Deep Dive Edition.
Deep Dive Edition.
Wiley says Kirby's Dream, Return to Dreamland Deluxe. So
I like Kirby.
Atari 50th Anniversary Celebration. I heard that's really good, so I might. Gary says Inscription. That's that card game, right?
Yes, I heard very good things about that game. You said you liked card games. Now, that's not completely a card game. It's part of the game, but there's a lot of good aspects to it, and I heard nothing but good things about it. I kind of want to pick it up.
Gary, I don't know if you play it. I've started playing Pokemon, the card game, with my daughter.
The old one?
Well, you know,
like the game.
I got her Battle Academy, you know, the Battle Academy, so she could learn to play it, and I'm playing it along with her. And it's great, man. I love it. I think it's a great game. I I don't know why. I suppose it was just a kid's game to me, and I never really thought about it. But it's actually quite fun.
Oh yeah.
So,
I tried Magic the Gathering for a while. It's pretty fun.
I just
Well,
can't bother learning rules. That's the thing. It's learning.
Well,
new rules.
here's my problem with those games, right? A lot of times with card games like Pokemon, Magic the Gathering, there's good cards and then there's crap cards, right?
Yeah.
And so there's like 300 cards in the whole like.
Well, no.
universe or
Here's
whatever.
here's the. I get what you're saying, Tony. It used to be when Pokemon was with Wizards of the Coast, the game used to be a lot more balanced. When Nintendo took it into their own hands to say, hey, we don't need Wizards, and started making the cards on their own, yes, now the game has become a pile of shit where most of your cards don't matter, and it all comes into like the G Maxes, V Maxes, all that stuff. Now, that's
So it used
why
to
you
be,
probably
used to
like
be better.
Yeah, it was
used
more
to
balanced.
yeah, it was more balanced back in the day. Now it's all the big cards is all you can use. Magic's a lot different. Magic's
Magic's the
there's
same
good
way.
cards.
No, Magic
it's
is
not.
yes, it is. I've played Magic.
it's
Magic
not.
had the
No.
meta on
How long
Magic.
have you played Magic for?
2 years.
Oh,
I also know a lot
you
of
don't
people
even know
in the Magic
rules
community.
properly.
No, I was playing with the rules properly. Gary,
You're a
Magic
fake Magic gamer.
Magic
Hold
has
on,
a
were
lot
you
of.
playing?
Would you let me fucking talk?
Go ahead.
Jesus Christ. There's a lot of things in Magic where the meta is like, all right, if you're playing blue, like boom, 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 you like all these cards are just going to link together, and the opponent's not going to do anything, right? If you pull your deck and within the first draw, you don't get what you need to build on your strategy, the game's over. You need those good cards.
You can take a
First off,
mulligan.
yeah, but even if you take a mulligan, you still might not get what you need. Again,
Well, that's part of the game. If you lose, you lose.
And it at least when you're playing online or like a video game version, it's easy to acquire the cards, right? But when you're playing it in real life, either you have to go directly and buy all the good cards. Like if you're playing red, you need to buy all the good red cards for your red deck. Or if you're playing a green deck, you need all the good green cards. Or you have to like have the incredible luck and buy 100 booster packs.
Hold on. First of all, you do realize that like each set is like set up into different like that's what you're supposed to play. So like I don't understand it 100% completely, but over the years there's so many sets. You can't just take a card from every fucking different
You could.
set
I mean, it'd be a terrible deck.
You can't, but you can't. Nobody plays that though. It's not an official like people play that.
Magic was asked till EDH came around. Yeah, look, there are cards. Even when you buy the set, there's still cards that are better that you could swap.
But you
in,
can't.
right?
But you can't. No,
Yes.
you can only play. Tony,
No.
listen for a second. You can
Gary,
only play one mythic rare at a time. You can't have multiple mythic.
I'm not even
rares.
talking
You can't
about
play
just the
those.
mythic rares, Gary. There's just cards that are basic good. The smaller cards. The 1 point cards.
Yeah, but there's
ones that
nothing
are
that's
better.
gonna one
So
hit.
you swap them
Yes.
out.
But there's nothing that can one hit you in the game, Tony.
No one did it. Anyone say any of those things, Gary? No
But
one said
you're-
any of those things. That's not what I said.
So you. But
I
you're
didn't say any of
saying
that.
that
didn't.
there's cards that are
I'm
better.
not saying
Yes,
that.
there are.
Yes, that's what I said. And it's more
Of course.
advantageous
The red-
to have the better cards, and it's going to cost you
No,
money. Yes, Gary, you can't say that. No, there are better cards, but it's not more advantageous to have the better cards.
That's not a guaranteed win, and when you're playing.
No
Magic.
one said that,
You
Gary.
played for 2 years.
Gary, listen
so
to
you
the
don't
words.
need. So you agree
Listen
you do
to
not
the
need the
argument
best
I'm
cards.
making. Listen to the argument I'm making. I'm not saying that having better cards is a guaranteed win. I'm saying having better cards puts the advantage on you, right?
If you know how to play Magic.
Obviously, Gary, I could have a baseball bat in a good glove and have no idea how to play baseball, and you could beat me with no glove and a piece of and
So
a
all
stick,
I'm saying,
right?
all I'm saying is you don't need good cards to win.
No one said you did. That's not what I said. Go back and
You don't even
watch
need
the
them to have
stream.
the. You
Go
don't
watch the
even
stream
need.
and then point out to the point where I said that, Gary, because you're not going to find
You don't
it.
even need them, and you don't even need them to have the better chance to win.
Yes, you do.
No, you don't. Your 2 years of Magic is showing. I've been playing Magic since '94, dude. I can assure you that those cards are not going to put you over the edge.
Gary,
Still
if we're
suck.
playing baseball and I have cleats and you don't have cleats, I have an advantage over you, right? By having cleats. Can you admit that?
You ain't playing if you ain't got cleats on the field. That's a dumb it's a
You
computer.
never lived in the ghetto? You
can
can
have-
play
you can
baseball
have-
without cleats. You don't need cleats to play baseball.
I don't know what any of this means.
Here's how I can explain it to you, Tony. You could have whoever just
So
won
how
the
you
Magic
doing,
tournament
Finbar?
last year.
Yeah,
You
no,
could
Panties.
have their
How you?
deck. You could
Yeah,
play
good,
me, and that
good.
it's not going to. You're
Good
going to
being
have
in
a
the
way.
middle,
You're going to
isn't
have a champion's
Yeah.
deck. It's not going to give you
It's
a
like
better
mom and dad
chance to win
shouting
at
at each
Magic
other over the kitchen.
if you
where the
don't know how to
kids
play
are sat in
Magic.
the
That's
middle.
all there is to it.
Gary,
There
we're
is
not
a lot-
arguing. Gary, we're not arguing if someone doesn't know how to play. That's not. We're at the point where you both know how to play.
If you put two equally skilled players together and you give them the champions deck versus their deck, it's not going to give them a better chance.
Yes,
And
it
all that
is.
game
It literally is.
No, it doesn't. That game
Yes.
comes down to skill.
No,
It
no.
can't. Yes, it does.
Literally, Gary, you could literally get two decks.
Do you know there are people who have been playing for 5 years who still don't know how the stats
Okay, I'm going to mute him. Literally, Magic has been figured out that you could literally get two decks, pull them out, do the flop or whatever you want to call it, right, with the opening cards, and then the computer could basically go, this deck is going to win because here's how it's going to play out. We're going to play all the cards in the most advantageous way possible.
No,
and this
it
deck's
can't,
going to win.
because
Yes,
it
it
doesn't
can.
know how
They literally
your-
have programs
No,
like that,
it
Gary.
doesn't.
Yes, they
No,
do.
there's no
Yes.
possible way. There's no possible way because you could play your cards plenty of different ways with the same hand. You could play it out different scenarios. There's no.
Did you not
possible way
listen to
that
what
it
I
could do
said,
that.
Gary? Gary, listen to the words I'm saying. Not the words you want to hear, but the words I actually say. There is an more advantageous way to play the card versus a less advantageous, right? It's like chess. If I move my pawn on my far left
But
pawn
you're
up to listen. There's the listening part, not the talking part, Gary. If you move your pawn and you go, that's the stupidest opening move ever, right? That obviously I could do that, but no one's gonna do that, right? There is good opening moves in chess and there's shitty opening moves. We're not going, hey, of course you could do this shitty move and fucking do whatever you want, and it's gonna be a different game.
There's a way to play. Yes, there's a way to play your deck every single time you play it. Yes, I have a fucking elf deck. I know. There's a way to draw my elves out, and there's a way I want to play it every single time, the right way. That doesn't mean when you play somebody that they're going to make the right moves every time, which means
but that's not what I said,
super
Gary.
strong cards.
That's not what I said. Gary, listen to what I said.
All I'm saying.
Listen. I didn't say
that
two people.
Of what you're saying.
I didn't say two people are always going to make the right moves. That's not what I said, Gary. It's not what I said. What I said was, pay very close attention. You can take two decks, and you could have the computer play them in the most advantageous way possible. What a human will probably not do. But if you play them to the best of how they were going to be played, the computer can figure out within the first opening move
and the computer
win.
makes its mistakes too. And the computer makes mistakes because it's trying to make the most, like you said, advantageous fucking move. And trust me, I've had Magic 2010 or whatever on Xbox. It like you said, makes its best moves, and you can counter that because the computer. That's where the computer's flaw is at. Because you know what the computer's going to do because it's going to use the best
Gary,
possible
Gary,
cards
listen to me. Listen to me. We're not talking about the computer versus a person. We're talking about the computer playing out the hand amongst itself.
Right.
Okay?
In the best possible scenario can play it.
And it will figure out which one will win. Okay?
And it how does it know your hand? You're saying
because obviously you're going to give it all the information about what deck you have beforehand and what cards you pulled.
Doesn't use.
We're not talking. You're not
listening,
listening, Gary. We're not talking about you playing fucking Magic Online or you going to fucking Magic.com.
This is what we were talking about.
I said,
listen, Gary,
conversation. Listen. I said they have programs, Gary. That was what I said. That can tell you which deck would win.
But we were originally talking about that, Tony.
That's what I said, though.
You
Gary, I literally said that. I literally said there's programs that'll tell you which deck would win based on what you opened.
The whole conversation.
No, we're not talking about the whole conversation. We're talking about this particular part.
We're getting back to the original.
This one right here. This little section of the conversation.
No. We're getting back to the original point of the conversation that you said Magic was easy. It's not.
I didn't say that. Did I say that? I never said that.
And having the most perfect cards, and you can't have.
That's not. I didn't say that either.
It's nearly impossible.
Gary, why do you make these arguments that I never fucking said? You
So
keep
what's your
arguing with
argument?
me
Is that
against things I've never
Magic,
fucking said.
So you agree Magic is not easy. It's very hard.
I never said it was.
Having you're agreeing though. I'm just clearing this up. You agree that Magic is not
It's
easy,
hard.
right?
Yes, Magic is a difficult game to play. Yes,
having
Gary.
the best cards in any particular color deck is not going to give you the best chance to certify you a win, correct?
It's not going to certify you in. No, I never said it was.
It's not even going to give you the best chance.
It's going to give you a better chance. Yes, that's why better cards are better, Gary. Better cards are better for a reason.
No shit, no shit. But if you have the best cards, there are no such thing as the best cards. There's the best combination of combos that you can put into your deck. Now, every person who's playing like a legitimate, like either a tournament or something serious is going to put.
Right, Gary.
Okay, well, we'll take. Tony's played for 2 years. I played since '94, so you can take the experts' take on it for 2 years of play.
It's
That's
not.
all I'm going to say. I've been playing since '94.
Gary, it's common sense. It's common sense. It's common sense. No. Better cards are going to give you a better chance of winning.
Well, no shit, Sherlock. But
that was my whole argument that you're arguing against.
Boys.
It wasn't.
Hello. I gotta hop off.
All right.
I'm gonna call it a night. You guys have fun with your argument later.
Good night, Days.
We love you. With that said, we should move on.
Yeah, either that or can you just put me like outside the three again?
I gotta go anyways. I gotta eat too. Later, guys.
Oh, Gary. Come on.
Gary loses and runs away. We got it.
That somebody said earlier on that you two should play a Magic game for the honor of who's right and who's wrong.
No, because if I lose, it doesn't mean that I'm wrong about what I said.
Probably make Gary feel better.
Yeah. 56K Warning says, skip all that. Just play Titanfall 2. Maestro Drake, who has changed his icon, is throwing me off. He says, try Bayonetta 3. Blinded says, Fire Emblem Engage. And Carl O rounding it out with Dead Space.
I want to try Dead Space.
I've never played a Dead Space game or a Bayonetta game. So,
before you move on to the next one, I got an announcement to make while you and Gary were arguing violently back and forth. I popped in to say hello to Gen X, and I think he's invited me onto his podcast, so look out for that, folks.
Oh, there it is.
I'll be getting a Gen X interview pretty soon.
Everyone gets a Gen X interview.
Everybody except you.
I don't need one. I think he pretty much came out and said, well, there's certain people that have their own shows that you don't need me to ask them questions because they tell you every week their opinions on it.
Yeah.
He doesn't want to be overshadowed. I understand. He doesn't want to be overshadowed on his own show. I get it.
He doesn't want to be reminded that you got to 1K before him.
Yeah. It says, are you excited for the new James Gunn-led DCU? 106 votes. 31% is excited. 45% not excited. And 24% are indifferent. Myself, I'm excited. I think James Gunn.
Yeah.
I love the Guardians. And I love some of James Gunn's other non-Marvel movies. I think he did like Super, like Brightburn.
Yeah.
So I'm excited.
I voted on this one as well. I voted yes. I'll give him a chance until if it turns out to be shit, then yeah.
Well, I'll definitely be like, yeah, this is shit if I don't like it. But I'm at least going to give it a chance. I'm excited. I didn't like the Zack Snyder stuff to begin with, so. Yeah,
well, you know where all the no's have come from.
Yeah, all the Snyderverse fans.
I didn't hate the Snyderverse, right? I liked Man of Steel. I liked the Aquaman, and I liked the first Wonder Woman. And I also liked the Zack Snyder's Justice League. It was too long, but it was better than the theatrical cut. But I'm sorry, man, you got to let it all go. It failed. You don't hang on to failures. I don't like that they're recasting Cavill, but the guy's getting on. If they want to do a young Superman, they can't use Cavill. And I'm sure Cavill will be back at some point doing something else or playing an older Superman. People just need to calm down. Like that John Campea flipping his lid about Ezra Miller. Do you honestly
you saw
Ezra
that?
Miller? No way are they keeping Ezra Miller after this Flash film.
I don't know. I think they could. Here's the thing, right? I talked about this on Max's show. I don't think, like you, I don't think they're keeping Ezra Miller, but I don't think it's out of the realm of possible. Just to even be like, well, if it does a bunch of money, right, why wouldn't you even consider it?
It's not impossible, but it would be a PR disaster.
Nah, he could, because he's already said, "Hey, I had mental health issues." So that's one part of his redemption arc. He's
I
checked
think
in to
I
get
think
help.
he's already debunked it anyway. I don't think it's even an issue. I think it's more scoopers coming up with nonsense. We've pulled out their ass.
I think so too. But what I'm
People
saying
need to stop talking about it, calm down, let the guy do his work and let him get on with it, and let's see what he does. Because you're not getting your Snyderverse. It's gone.
Yeah. But what I'm saying though is with Ezra Miller, if the movie makes a shit ton of money, right? He's already checked into rehab. He's admitted he has mental health issues. All he's got to do is come out and do an apology tour, be like, "I'm sorry, what I did," and then never get in trouble again, right? Or at least never get into the same kind of trouble. I'm not saying he's going to happen. I'm just saying it could.
But I think the higher ups at Warner are probably thinking, if we put this guy in another $200 million movie and he goes off the rails again like this, we're going to come back all the way around to this again. We may as well. There was a guy that they were looking at casting, and I forget his name. He's a British actor. He was in I talked about it before. He was in that World War I film. He looks more like Barry Allen than Ezra Miller does. I want him to get a cast.
Yeah, I think Ezra Miller was a shitty Barry Allen to be,
Yeah, he doesn't look like him. Neither does the guy Grant Gustin. Doesn't look like him either. The only one that really looked anything like him when he didn't have the hair was John Wesley Shipp.
Oh yeah, his costume looked.
His costume was awesome.
Yeah,
he could have slotted straight into the '89 Batman universe easily in that costume.
All right, 56K Warning says Gunn has a knack for taking crappy characters and making them A-Lix. No, not Sidekick Max. Mad Max. The Mandalorian. So lots of people not excited.
Sidekick Max will be taking over this show when Tony dies on stream of drinking too many monsters.
Yeah. All right, so this was for members only. And 10 votes. So not all the members voted, but it says if I stream video games 5 nights a week, which is what I'm considering doing, would you watch? 40% said yes. So that's 4 votes for yes, 4 votes for no, and 2 votes for depends on the game. So,
yeah, I voted no. I voted no because I can't commit the time to watching somebody playing a game.
That's fair.
I did say in the comments that you should, if you're playing it, you should stream it because that is quite a good position to take, isn't it?
Yeah. So there it is. I apologize for Gary coming out here and saying stupid things. How could you? I know I should let this go, but how could you sit there and go, some cards are better than others, but having the better cards doesn't give you any kind of advantage over someone who doesn't have the better? It's just asinine.
I gotta be honest. Like I said, I sort of jumped off for a minute when it started. You can't get in the middle of a Gary and Tony argument.
No.
Nobody wins.
I win. I always win.
Well, you win because you can, silence them or boom.
I don't know what you're talking about. I can't silence anybody. Do you agree? Stay silent if you agree. See, obviously he agrees. I don't mind what games you play. I listen because I like your personality. Well, thank you.
You thought I was going to say something there when you muted me a second time, didn't you?
I didn't mute you. What are you talking about? You pissed off Gary so bad his phone hit 0%. Tony didn't beat Gary. He used mute, cheated. No, I had to shut him up for a second.
All of the anger going through Gary's veins must have charged the phone slightly.
Yeah. As he's holding it and the electricity going through.
Yeah. He goes Super Saiyan.
Gary is the Barry Horowitz of the ANA GWG arguments. Yeah. You should have made Gary Vince.
Who?
Vincent. Gary should have been Virgil.
No. Is Ninja Kitty happy with his one? I didn't ask him.
I don't know if he's seen it.
Because it's just the way, your face fitted with Ted DiBiase, so that's why you got him.
No, but in WCW, Virgil was renamed Vincent.
All right, okay.
Because the name Virgil was making fun of Dusty Rhodes. So then when he went to WCW, they named him Vincent to make fun of Vince McMahon.
Right.
And then he got renamed to Shane to make fun of the Shane McMahon.
Right, okay.
Then they called him Curly Bill because they're dumb.
And X-Pac was 6, wasn't he?
Yeah.
And then I think he was 6-pack in TNA, so
Yeah, well, because he started off as the 1, 2, 3 kid,
that's right, yeah.
and then if you add 1, 2, 3 together, it gets 6.
Pinned Diesel was the 1, 2, 3 kid, didn't he? Or was it Razor?
No, Razor.
You pinned Razor, yeah.
Yeah.
See, I do know my old school wrestling, man. Some of
You
it.
do. Some of it. All right. Thank you all for watching. I didn't think we were going to make 3 hours. And, I didn't even think this was going to be like a 1 hour show. We had barely any topics.
A good 2 hour chunk of that was the Gary versus Tony argument about Magic the Gathering, so you could always make it 3 hours.
I mean, it's like that for all those games, right? They're all the same. Better cards always give you a better.
All I know is with this one with Pokemon, you're right. You make up a deck of 60 and you mix them, and you may pull out all energy cards.
Yeah.
It's possible, isn't it? So yeah, they're all luck of the draw. I mean, it's a card game, isn't it? At the end of the day.
1, 2, 3 kid had a pram. He did. All right. Thank you all for watching. Make sure you smash the like button on your way out. Love, peace, booty grease. I'm out this bitch.